Hey everybody, happy Saturday. Alright, let me just set the timer for... There we go. Now let's, I have to turn on the... Yeah, I gotta turn on my headphones. And then... Alright, there we go. Why isn't it switching? Okay, there we go, there we go. I got scared for a second. Yeah, I'm using this funky new method of capturing my my game audio, well, my PC audio, I guess. And I have to turn on my headphones within my broadcast software to make it come up. Hey, Galactic boy, how you doing? Yeah, I don't know, like the regular just capturing whatever's coming out of my PC doesn't work. I have to jump through all these weird hoops. So, and if I leave that microphone, and when I say turn on my headphones, I could hear what's going on anyway, even when I don't have them turned on. But when I don't, if I leave them turned on during my hold screen, the hold music starts having this echoing effect that's really bad. So sounds like I remember to do everything correctly. Just want to give a quick shout out to the old PC ambiance I'm using to make up for the fact that hey, Sinful, how you doing? Are you I keep forgetting who's showed up in the past for which games. Are you hip to these particular titles? I want to just turn my audio down a little bit. We'll just hop through a couple of easy stages, just to. Oh, actually, and also I'll turn on my timer. There we go. Yeah, you're not used to them, but have you heard of them before at all, or is this your first introduction to them whatsoever? Or maybe you've heard of them, it's your first time seeing them in action? I'm just trying to get a sense so I don't over-explain a little too much. Yeah, so, in general, right now we're a 10-year-old boy genius that's built a spaceship in his, in the tool shed in the backyard. Which is a trope that appeared, like, there's so many elements of this character and very specific things about them that are so eerily similar to the PlayStation 1 game Heart of Darkness that was published by Interplay. That, I mean, there's even fan art of, like, Commander Keen and Heart of Darkness. Like, there's, like, actual fan art of it. It's such a thing that's been noted. Even by me back in the 90s, when Heart of Darkness came out, I'm like, is this a spiritual sequel to Commander Keen? Not that I knew that phrase. It felt like, it's like the creators of Commander Keen lost the rights to the game and changed it very slightly to avoid trademark problems and copyright issues, and made a new game based on them. So actually, why don't hey, what I'll do... Well, I'll drop this in chat. I happen to have a... Yeah, I just happen to have a command ready for it. So this is the backstory for the game. In the last game, we were on Mars, and we had to find the parts of the spaceship. And on the way back to Earth, we found that there was an alien ship that was targeting several cities on Earth with laser beams. If any... for some reason, they want to specify specific cities and landmarks on Earth the lasers are targeted at, but if any one of those lasers goes off, the whole planet is destroyed anyway. Actually, let's go through the canteen level. Like, there's some icons on the ship that kind of show off different elements of, like, oh, this is supposed to be the cafeteria, so there's a lot of food items laying around for extra points and stuff like that. Or, oh, this is a armory, so there's lots of weapons you could pick up. I'm not gonna be eating those on stream or anything. I know I did want to check. I just happened to go collect my box of cereal. My shipping box full of the box of cereal. I still haven't even opened it yet because the cereal I have on my shelf in my kitchen is still okay. So these little the aliens that we're fighting are these blue furred dog people in jumpsuits, and they brought their kids on board this warship, and they have this they run around and knock into you and stun you. Now, unfortunately, like, this robot, the security robot, can friendly fire the little alien kids, and one horrible thing about this game is that when you defeat enemies or any living creatures, their toasted remains remain on the game screen for the rest of the stage. And that was a specific choice that was made because they wanted kids to feel like, to question, like, whether their actions were justified. So it's a very kind of, maybe a bit of a very early take on the whole playstyle matters kind of thing you'd see with, you know, the Lord British games and... Oh, shucks, oh, shucks. Okay. So that guy... Okay, we got him. This is a good chance to show this off. Hey, TurboGrafx, how you doing? So here we are at the control room of one of the laser beams. And you see on the screen here that there's a picture of the Sphinx in Egypt. And you have to go to each of these laser-based stages and deactivate the laser. So, hey, I'm a kid in the 90s. I hear I have to deactivate these different laser beams. So, oh, here's the control panel for the laser beam. Here's a switch. So what are you going to do? What's the game... Everything in the game design vocabulary is telling you, oh, you have to hit the switch to deactivate it. So I hit the switch. Oops. Yeah, instant game over, and we destroyed Earth. Yeah, the game describes you as having to go to each of these laser bases to deactivate them. It doesn't tell you that to deactivate them, you just simply have to complete the stage. Because any other game, if you're told to go to a place and deactivate a control panel, you're going to hit the button or lever on the control panel. Instead, I did that, and it causes the laser to fire. So... a little bit of a troll there. So, this is my... So, back in the day, I beat the first game in the series, and I beat the last game in the series. No, actually, I didn't. I got to the last boss of the last game of the series, but I did not complete that last boss. I spent hours trying to beat him. I just never beat him. So far on stream, we've played Episode 1. We've played Episode 2. This is our third or fourth stream of Episode 2. And... if we beat Episode 2 today, I'm gonna jump into Helios, which is a very interesting game, that you'll, it's kind of, I'll type in the, Helios. Yeah, Helios is kind of arguably the first creepypasta game, which I, interestingly enough, found myself kind of in the middle of the lore of it, because it kind of got, this is a game I played in the 90s, got rediscovered decades later, and then, when it was circulating on YouTube and creepypasta videos, and it was even on the feature of the creepypasta wiki, I was the only person online who made a webpage about the game, so I was the only proof outside the creepypasta that the game actually did exist in the 90s prior to the circulation of the creepypasta. That the game itself wasn't made for the purpose of perpetuating a hoax. Now, this is the last stage here. I turned out the lights, and by turning out the lights, the Vorticons do not like to jump in the dark. So that'll let me come up here to this higher level. Oh my goodness. Now this is a save file I have with a few extra lives on it, I think. Yeah, there are several stages where there are little traps where you have to go through a section with the lights out and to be able to sneak past them, and this is one of those. Now this is as far as I've gotten the game, even back in the 90s. Oh my... now, this is just me getting accustomed to this. This is an interesting game because I'm playing... like, typically your directional controls on a gamepad would be the D-pad, or the primary analog control would be on the left. Your directional control would be on the left. And your action buttons, firing shots, opening doors, whatever, or jumping, are gonna be on your right hand. With this setup, hey Tundex, it's going pretty good. The snow's we got hit good last week, but it's pretty much melted all already. So here we are. We're on the last stage of this game that I've been stuck. I haven't gotten past this last stage, even going back to the 90s. So I want to complete my story. I mean, I've beaten all the necessary stages there are only certain stages you need to beat in order to complete the game. And here I am. You can actually beat the stages for the most. There are kind of two sets of stages. There's sort of a hard level in between that unlocks the second half of the ship. But you can beat the necessary stages in whatever order you choose. But the way they place the stage on the map, it's very clear that this is intended to be the most challenging of the stages. So we're gonna need that key card down there. Is there... I forgot. I have to relearn. I haven't played this game in a couple of months. I was playing this game. I did a few streams of this game sort of on and off, but really the arrival of my analog pocket kind of derailed my attempts at this game. It never snows in sunny Southern California. Yeah, I wasn't that far west, but I was in a subtropical region for a few years, so this is really my first proper winter, I guess you could say, since 2016. Because I used to, when I was in the New York City area. And there, it possibly gets even colder or more severe than here. Now it's funny, okay, gotta just hop up here. Wait a second. I never turned on... Did it... Hold on. I don't think I had my sound... Did I? No, that's... Okay. My sound was on. You guys heard the PC... The sound of the emulator, right? Yeah, you don't want snow again after dealing with that disaster last year in Texas? Yeah, I mean, it's nowhere near the scale of that, but I just remember where I was at before, at one year, like, the most heavy snowfall we got, it was only a few inches, but the whole region was paralyzed because they just weren't equipped to deal with even a few inches of snow. They didn't have road salting equipment and snowplow trucks or anything. So even just a couple of inches shut down the schools and stuff like that. I was actually stuck where I was at the time. My apartment building was kind of at the bottom of a hill, so I couldn't my car couldn't make it up the hill, so I couldn't. Fortunately, I do have a certain amount of supplies at home. Even before COVID. Alright, so now it's a funny thing, when you turn off the lights in this game, you're in Wisconsin, y'all are equipped for snow, I'm sure. But when you turn off the lights, it also darkens the interface for the menu screen. So I guess whatever effect they use, this is something they can selectively turn it on and off. I guess it's kind of like maybe a layer thing, where if you turn that off, it turns everything related to it off. The English localization of Mother, Earthbound Zero, or as it would be officially released, Earthbound Beginnings, had an element like that where, oh my goodness, they added in a run feature. And the run feature was actually added in for debug purposes when they were localizing the game. And they decided to keep the run feature, but all the run feature does is make the game on the overworld run faster, accepting the music. So whenever you're holding the run button, all of the NPCs milling about town also shuffle around a lot, like at twice the normal speed. It's interesting. So, even when I'm pretty well familiarized with this, right now I'm just sort of getting a feel for the controls. Because for a platformer, using a keyboard for a platformer is not as bad as it sounds, but it is interesting that I'm using my right hand for the directions on the arrow keys. I have a WASD, a mechanical keyboard with MX Cherry Blues mechanical key switches. Back in the day, I was playing this on an IBM Model M keyboard with my IBM PS2 value point. PS2 meaning Personal System 2, as in like the second generation of the IBM PC sort of meta platform, I guess you could say. Not PS2 as in PlayStation 2. When you ever see those old-fashioned keyboard or mouse plugs for computer keyboards and mice, that non-USB ones, the little sort of round ones with the little bobby little pins inside. Those are called PS2 because the IBM PS2 range of computers actually introduced those plugs. And even at the time, well, it wasn't too far into that era, but even... Okay, actually, it's nice to actually be able to see the game field for now. I'm so used to seeing it blacked out. Alright. And one thing I comment on every single time, for some reason, I really do appreciate the fact that this blue platform here, they could have just made that a plain blue block that goes back and forth, but they put a bunch of buttons and light displays and that little hover unit thing on the bottom. This adds a lot more character to what it otherwise would have been like. And we just have to not get murdered by that robot. Okay, we killed that Vorticon. And it's so horrible. They like just collapse into like a pile of relatively tame gore, but it's like, gee whiz. Alright, I'm gonna turn down my audio a tiny bit. Because I keep, for my personal audio, which my headphones here, they're actually plugged into my mic. And there's a volume control that I can turn down the volume on that I'm hearing it independently of the volume of the broadcast software or of my PC. Which is a cool feature. Because I like to typically have my volume at like barely at a whisper. Now I don't need to. I don't know why these storks are guarding all these teddy bears. Oh yeah, that's one thing. No, excuse me. I was about to say the Vorticons are. I was almost incorrectly stated that the Vorticons are fascinated by human toys, but that's actually not true. That is the Martians who are fascinated by toys. All right, so if I fall at that spot, I know from now on. If I just keep cool, and just keep on, if I just let myself fall straight down, oh no, that was close. Yeah, if I just let myself fall straight down, I really don't have to be afraid. I tried to aim for that gap, but it didn't really work out. And I'm... Okay. Yeah, if you wait over here, eventually these guys fall down there. Now, remember how the guy in the yellow jumpsuit, those two were jumping up around and being all crazy? These guys will do that too, which is very dangerous. These guys take several shots, and there are multiple of them, so they could be... Actually, now that there's no reason I can't go back and just turn on the light already. I mean, it's kind of not essential. And by the way, all those glyphs on the walls there, that is in a cipher called the Standard Galactic Alphabet. It's just a simple sub-in for the letters of the Roman alphabet. And you can, there's somewhere in the first game that has a code for how to decipher them. And all the signs actually say things. They just say things like... They just say things related to what's going on. Like, I think there's and like in the canteen, there's signs that say like burgers or something like that. Just little things like that. And I think there are a few secrets you can't uncover in that manner. Oh no, I did not mean to do that. I need to have that switch on so I can get under here. I forgot. Were they always two of... Where are these? You know what? I wonder if those two up there, if are they acting differently because I Oh my, that was careless. Okay, those two, their bodies sort of covered up the electrical sparker thing. And I just forgot it was there and walked too far. Oh my goodness. What happened here? What is this? Why is this why did that just happen? Why did that just happen? Okay, my water bottle just... Hold on. My water bottle spilled on me. I didn't know it could spill like that. Should I change? Yeah, I'm gonna... excuse me, I have to change my pants real quick. Hold on. Alright, the wonders of live entertainment. Okay, let's plug these back in. Oh, we saved 6 cities. Alright, yeah, I just had to just throw off my jeans and just toss on a pair of PJs that were laying around. Okay. No. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Everything's good. File 1. Now, hopefully this stream isn't just going to be 4 hours of me fumbling around through this one level. But we'll see what happens. Okay. Now, once I get over far enough, I guess they eventually just get lured into jumping down into that sort of ocean of plasma or whatever's down there. Now, there's 1, 2. Yeah, you don't get points for killing enemies, so there's no real advantage. Now, one thing that this game did make me think about, and it's the first time I thought about it, is the fact that points really, in the first Super Mario Brothers, like, points really don't count for anything. It's unless you're competing in 2-player and trying to go for a high score. But that's, like, it's so strange to me, because if you got points for, if you got extra lives for every several thousand points or something like that, but no, you get a 1-up every 100 coins. You get points for collecting coins, but you do not get lives for collecting points. I just found it interesting that, yeah, I mean, I guess the point system to a certain extent was a remnant of... Yeah, where did those... There were 2 Vorticons up here. Where did they come from? I think... Does the game spawn extra Vorticons if you do not turn the lights off? That's the only... Oh my goodness. That was just careless. That was just me being too busy thinking about having possibly discovered a new mechanic to the game. See, there's 2 guys down there running around. Now, the way the dark version of these sprites work, you can, you have a little more space to stand on than the visible part of the platform would seem to imply. I'll show once he falls down there, because I don't want to risk it trying to show this off and lose another life. And, okay. So we hit that switch. Now hitting those teddy bears are those are the highest, okay, do these guys just, are these guys on some kind of like semi-random timer? Where sometimes they appear and sometimes they don't? The 2 up top. Because we know there are 2, so there should be 4 guys down here right now. There are 2 there. Okay, there are a total of 4 guys. Alright. At least it all adds up. Because there was a moment where I was sort of questioning how that happened. Because I was just sort of learning the particulars of the stage. And I would say maybe 60% or more of my playtime in this game was spent on this one stage. And I think what's going to end up happening is there's some kind of silly element that I simply failed to take observance of. I'm not going to go for the teddy bears. If you die in these stages, you do start from the beginning. There are no mid-stage checkpoints or anything like that. Oh my goodness. So, I have to remember, I have to figure out, get a feel for which way to fall when I'm at different parts of that area. Because really, the Vorticons that are marching around, the yellow jumpsuit ones, those aren't so much of a threat. Now, that's me being impatient and being clumsy. Wait a second, I just thought of something. Okay. No, I want to turn that off. I just want to make sure they didn't hide a secret passageway right at the beginning. Because this game is this series, there's a very trolly part in one of these games where, they propose a pretty impossible maze. It may actually be literally impossible, but you can just go to the left instead of to the right, and you just instantly win. Please fall. Please fall. Yum, yum, yum. And, okay. And jump. No! That was... I needed to take that slower. But, alright. So for this first run through here, I'm actually going to go and collect those teddy bears up top. Unless I somehow take a really lazy death. A really, death from being clumsy or careless. In that case, I'll just go ahead with the lives that I have. Yeah, I was going ahead and saving each time I beat one of the laser-based stages. But really, I probably was caring more about progress than how many lives I have, so now it doesn't delete your save. I could reload my save as many times as I need, but just the idea of just having to go through the game over screen over and over is just a bit of a pain. Okay. Alright. Grab the teddy bear. And jump up. We need the red key card. I'll take that. And now I wonder why. I mean, there's an area with all those electric things. Before you even actually get to there properly, they already place a switch there for you to hit and send out a bridge to activate over those electric hazards. Why have... I just wonder why, what the logic was, or the thinking process of having a switch to negate a hazard that you haven't even encountered yet. Or you see it, but you haven't really tried to traverse it yet. Because they could have just as easily just made that whole block area, just fill it in with something and have it be a non-accessible area. It's not like there's an item that you could drop in and do something like that. No, I paused there because I was trying to think, is there something I was overlooking about that area, or... Alright. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 extra lives, and then you have a life 0. So those are your extra lives. Because there's some games where you see 4 little icons, and that means you have one the current time you're playing, and then 3 other times. This is how many guys you have left. And aside from the life you're currently playing with. Because there's, you know, different games handle that a little differently sometimes now. Okay. So let's fall down. I guess we... Next time the platform comes over here, we'll jump down onto it. Okay, we got it. We're good. Okay. Turn the light on. Oh no, what does the switch do? What does that switch do? I forgot what that... Okay. There's a bridge there. And if I don't hit the bridge, let's see what... If I hit the switch again, I just want to have a clear sense of what I'm... So let me go check... Okay, now there's no bridge there. Okay. Just to sense of the controls, movement is with the arrow keys. Alt is to activate the pogo stick. Control is to jump. If you hit control while the pogo stick is activated, you jump higher. To fire a shot is to hit control and alt at the same time. It sounds like it shouldn't work, but it does. And I really couldn't imagine what it would be like trying... Oh, no, that's not... Okay, no, actually, I want that switch down. That's... Okay, so the bridge is on. So what does that affect? What can I do that I couldn't before? Whatever I have to do, I know it has to involve these robots. These are marching. Those don't harm you. They're there for you to jump on. Sometimes they can pose a hazard and push you into things you don't want to be pushed into. But we'll hop down there. Okay. Now the tricky thing about this, once I get up there, I don't have a lot of time to think about what's happened. Wait. Oh no, I didn't make it. Almost, okay. I don't know why, I feel like there's something right now, I feel like it's extremely obvious what I'm supposed to do. When in the previous times I played it, it wasn't obvious, and I was having extreme trouble trying to work out what to do or how to progress. And right now I feel like it's really obvious to me. Maybe I just had to take a while away from the game and get used to it, or just let it stew in my mind a bit. Let the concept, the idea ferment. Let it develop like a Polaroid photograph. And you take it and it's all opaque at first, and then it gradually the photograph gradually fades into view. Alright. I don't need... Okay, I do not... That's the annoying... Okay. That pipe right there, that implies on the right, that line of dots, that's the darkened version of the power cord that extends out the bottom of the terminal at the end of the stage. And that implies that what we're looking at on the right is the rightmost point of this map, which I think is a potentially good sign. It means there's... How much more could there possibly be if... You just have to get up and over there. And we can see the areas that we're trying to get to, too. You just gotta be patient. Yeah, the fact that there's... It's not... I don't mind dying so much, so the fact that there's so much setup of stuff that I'm pretty good at before we could even get to the new parts, right? That's the part that I guess could be most frustrating. And I'm not too worried about trying to load up on extra lives, because once I beat the stage, that is the end of the game. I don't need a cache of lives, really. Alright. So, we're gonna end up... Alright, so there's multiple ways. I might as well go and loot that little cache of little Vorticon kid teddy bears. My gun didn't fire. That was silly. My gun just didn't fire. Now I don't care about getting the teddy bears. I'm just gonna get the blue key card. And I'm gonna keep moving. That was such a waste. That's really the only time I felt like the controls just didn't respond properly. And if there was a dedicated key for firing the laser, I think that wouldn't have happened. But the fact that we've gotten through 2, like 1, and 99/10ths of the trilogy. Well, I mean, we got through 1 game and like 99% of the other using these controls. So it's not like the controls are just broken, where it's like, oh, why did they do this and it just doesn't work. And it's just, it can be clunky at times, I guess, if you're overloading, I guess, its ability to receive inputs in just the right way. Because this was limited to the keyboard technology of the time, but PS2 connection, actually, I heard a lot of hardcore first-person shooter gamers who use the mouse and keyboard setup, and other gamers who use keyboards, I've heard them, arguments by people in those hardcore PC gaming communities that even on modern games, like something about the way the PS2 connection carries the electrical signal of the key press over to the computer is just a slighter. Oh my goodness, that was sad. That was sad. And I'm really tempted. Like, if this is a game I never played before, I'd be really tempted to just, hey, make a save state and just hop right back in. And so I'd have to do all this stuff over and over. But I have those memories of back in 2001-ish, around that time. That was the time I got furthest in this. Because I got this in the 90s, but it was maybe 2001 or 2000 when this machine was set up in the kitchen of my childhood home. And I remember just being in the computer in the kitchen with this machine set up, and it being dark. It would be like, 2 o'clock in the morning in the summertime. And I just remember being in the glow of the monitor, playing through this over and over, just trying to get through this last stage, realizing that I was so close to beating this title. There we go. Alright. That jump was kind of hairy. I didn't have to draw attention to that. You might have been able to see it. But that jump was... Okay. Get past this idiot. Okay, we are officially further than we got last time. Because last time we didn't even collect the key card. Key card get. And just fall right down through here. They're very nice of them to actually have 2 ways to get through. Since we were set in the kitchen, did you also eat meals while playing games? Yes, that actually did happen. In fact, my old IBM PC that I was playing this on back in the day, I have memories of, and when we initially got that PC, we originally had it set up in my bedroom, and we had a game called Sandstorm, and what Sandstorm was kind of a, I mean, these are all like early 90s titles, so of course they made a, wow, we got a couple lives back actually. They made a Missile Command style game based on the United States Gulf War between Iraq and the US. It's a very jingoistic kind of game, looking back on it. Might be interesting to find a copy of it nowadays, but because I know that game's on different DOS archive sites. But I remember playing that game Sandstorm, and that was the first game I ever played that, I'll tell the story and keep moving. It was the first game I played that had like sort of a mini biography of the developers, talking about how you know, their experience in programming the game, and you know, one of the friends' wives would, one of the developers' wives would would cook for them and come bring the food so they didn't have to leave the office, and just all this different stuff they used to do to pass the time and try to de-stress as they're trying to get this game out. And it made me I didn't like the game that much. It wasn't a particularly engaging game, but I did like feel connected with the developers. You know, thinking about, oh, this is what they had to go through to get this game out on time. And I remember playing this game, Sandstorm, and all my other PC DOS games as well. On my shareware copy floppied old DOS games. And it was that summer, it was that summer in the, yeah, when we first got that computer, I would play Sandstorm and other games, but particularly Sandstorm, and I would eat this potato salad. My mom made this huge bowl of potato salad for the 4th of July. We had a bunch of family over that summer for the 4th of July. We had a big barbecue party, and she made just way too much potato salad. So I just got to pig out on potato salad all day for like the next several days, because the people at the barbecue, all the friends and family we had over, they didn't eat all of it. Well, they ate a lot of it, but nowhere near all. They ate a lot of it, but nowhere near all of it. So I had all the potato salad. I didn't have to worry about leaving any for anyone else. So I'd have a big bowl of potato salad and sit down in my room on this computer, on the computer that we had all these DOS games on, my IBM PS2 Value Point, and just enjoy that. And okay, I gotta get over to that other. Wait a second. I'm having flashbacks of what happened. Okay, we activated him. No! Oh, that was close. That was too close for comfort. That was not cool. Okay, we have to time this just right so that we can... No! Oh my gosh, I got to chime that so I could jump on top of that robot, and even then, I'm like, that's like... There's so much stuff I have to do just to get to the point where new stuff starts happening in the game. But they, yeah, very unforgiving margin of error with this game. I mean, and I just want to be clear, hardcore in terms of maybe my interest in gaming history and nostalgia and everything, but in terms of skill, I do not consider myself a hardcore gamer. Like, I never even beat the original Super Mario Brothers. I'm gonna give it a shot on stream someday. But, yeah, even, like, something like the original Super Mario Brothers, I never actually beat. I got very far in it. I don't think I even got... I mean, when I say beat, I'm talking about... Like, I beat Super Mario Brothers on, I beat the Super NES version that was bundled into the Super Mario All-Stars. But that version basically gives you infinite continues and a save feature. And that makes the game so much less of a challenge that I honestly still don't consider myself to have beaten the original Super Mario Brothers. I mean, I have my copy that I got in like 99 or 2000 on NES. And I could get pretty far into it. There was a while when I was in high school where I was grinding. It's such an interesting thing, because I had a few nerdy friends who were into that kind of stuff, but in terms of mainstream, like, the idea of retro gaming was still a pretty big deal. I remember late into high school, I think it was like my junior or senior year, something like that, I was at Hot Topic, and they had a Super Mario Brothers t-shirt, and I got it, and I was like, look, they have a video game t-shirt, oh my gosh, it was like a big deal. Oh my gosh, they're making, like, video game t-shirts. Now it's like, you know, I remember in college, like, Hot Topic had a lot of shirts like that. And it's funny, because on one hand, it was kind of a mark of distinction of sort of, mainstream, I guess, acceptance. That word has a lot more, weighty implications, but just the idea that you know, it's more recognized by the mainstream as something like, you know, people have shirts for their favorite bands, even if they're bands that haven't played or released albums in decades. And people now have like shirts of their favorite games or game systems. I mean, just the fact that there are more Nintendo 64 t-shirts, just a black shirt with, there are more N64 t-shirts out now than there were in the N64 era. That has to, like, they're back in the heyday of N64, even PlayStation, which was the dominant system of that era. I don't remember seeing PlayStation t-shirts. I don't remember seeing Nintendo 64 t-shirts. Okay. So, there are 2 robots there. Okay. So now we gotta go back over. Yeah, there are lots of, like, particular foods I associate with particular games. Like, I remember, like, my mom's potato salad combined with playing Sandstorm. That's a memory I have. What else? Some other examples. I remember... Okay. Okay, we're gonna try this the first shot. First shot, okay? Oh, my goodness! Oh, what? Like, the physics. Like, it's not bad physics, it's just really... It's just really tricky. It's tricky. It's not... It felt slippery, where it's like, yeah, this game's good, but the physics just feels slippery and unfair in that spot. I'd say it. It's just tricky physics, and it's not, like, badly programmed. You just have to get good. And there's some times where I think get good is just kind of an excuse for maybe clunky game design, and there are other times where I feel like, yes, it is just a matter of skill. And I say that as the kind of person who, like, couldn't get through the first hour of Metroid Dread. Which I will revisit probably off-stream at some point in the future. Okay. Okay, so that... No. Okay, that was close. That was almost a very, very silly death that I took right there. Yeah, so Mom's Potato Salad and Super Metroid. No, Mom's Potato Salad, no. It's Mom's Potato Salad and Sandstorm for DOS. Another game and food combo is I remember coming home from school, and this is, you know how long ago this is. This is back when I still ate meat, but I would have these frozen Jamaican beef patties, and I would eat those, and oh my gosh, that is such a shame. That is so darn silly. Oh my gosh. I forgot to get the key card. Yeah, I would come home from school and I would heat up a couple of those microwave Jamaican beef patties and play Metroid 2 for Game Boy. I never beat Metroid 2. The battery ended up running out and I lost my save file, but I have some fond memories of Metroid 2 with Jamaican beef patties. They do have vegetarian versions of those, but yeah, so Metroid 2 and Jamaican beef patties, Sandstorm for DOS, and Mom's Potato Salad. I'm trying to think of some others. Yeah, here's an interesting one. Saltine crackers. With unsalted top saltine crackers. Paired with The Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap. And for Game Boy Advance. And I was playing that on... Yeah, I was in college, and I was playing that on the GameCube, on the GBA player. I was playing on the GBA player. Because one thing I remember feeling, it was before Twilight Princess came out. It was like Minish Cap just came out. And this is before DS came out, or DS had just came out, or something like that. And the sense I got was that, okay, 2D gaming has survived on Game Boy Advance because as a system in the performance range of something like Super Nintendo or Genesis, you know, marginally more powerful than those systems, the 2D gaming is what Game Boy Advance was best at. There's some games where the programmers really put the work in and tricked the Game Boy Advance into doing some really ambitious polygonal 3D stuff. But really, it's Game Boy Advance ultimately a souped-up Super Nintendo, with a focus on 2D experiences. Now that Nintendo DS is going to come out, and the DS is capable of polygonal 3D games like Metroid Prime Hunters and Super Mario 64 DS, when Zelda comes to DS, it's going to be a 3D game in the style of Ocarina of Time. That seemed like the obvious way forward from my perspective at that point. And I even heard people on message boards talking about that. So it seemed like at the time, and this is before you got things like this new Super Mario Brothers games. This is when 2D platforming gaming was almost extinct. 2D platformers were something people talked about, except with the exception of Game Boy Advance. 2D platforms were something people talked about in the past tense, like black and white movies, like horse and buggy, carriage, like stagecoaches, and black and white movies and Zeppelin. Something that once existed, but technology has changed, and now it's been replaced by airplanes and automobiles and color films and stuff like that. So there was a sense that, okay, the key to nailing that landing is you have to pogo jump off that red robot, and then immediately in midair, and it's not a move I've really ever found myself having to make, in midair, shut off the pogo stick. Now, where is the robot? Please spawn in robot. I get scared when I do not see the robot, because at least once I've had it be that... Okay, that did not work the way it worked with the other robot. So I gotta jump off of that onto that platform. But hey, we made it like 1% further. Like, so that's progress. I'm considering that a successful exploratory attempt. Any attempt where I get further than I ever had before, I'm considering a success. Or a movement towards success. Yeah, so what food combos, while we wait for these guys to jump in the plasma pool and die. So we got Mom's Potato Salad and Sandstorm. We got Metroid 2 and Jamaican Beef Patties. What was another combo? I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Saltine Crackers and Minish Cap. That's how I got on that rant. I was really, me and a few other people, friends I know, and people online talking on message boards, we really thought that Minish Cap was going to be the last 2D Zelda. So we were really savoring that, and I'm going to play that. I haven't played that since it came out, and that's going to be a fantastic... Will Minish Cap be the first Zelda game I play on stream? That'll be interesting to see how that... Like, there are too many games. There are too many too many games, honestly. I'm going to get... I know Pokemon Legends Arceus, one other game I want to get, and aside from that, I'm really not going to buy not only any more modern games, but any more games in general, with extreme exceptions. I'll have to... Because there's just so many games I want to play that I already have. Retro games, more recent games, vintage games and more recent games. Because really, like, a vintage game should be an old game. A retro game, really, but any foods associated with Sonic? I mean, chili dogs. I don't think I ever ate chili dogs while playing Sonic, but I remember... I never heard of chili... Well, I never... Like, I liked cheese dogs when I was a little kid. Because little kids, you know, they love that awful, goopy, sort of nacho cheese kind of cheese sauce. I remember loving to get cheese dogs from Nathan's. And when I say Nathan's, I do mean the Nathan's on Surf Avenue in Coney Island. The Nathan's were, like, the only Nathan's where you could also get, like, seafood, like crab sandwiches and stuff. Since you're on Coney Island, you're right by the shore and everything. But, yeah, memories I have. Yeah, so I like cheese dogs a lot. And I saw chili dogs. I didn't even know what chili was. I didn't know it was like a stew with peppers and beef. I just knew there was something called chili, and you could get a chili dog. But I wanted cheese dogs because I was a weird little kid. You know, little kids love their favorites and don't want to try anything new. So I'd always get cheese dogs. And then I watched Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. The chili dogs were kind of a thing in Sonic Sat AM. Oh my gosh, that was bad luck. Like, 90% of the time, there would not have been a Vorticon right directly beneath me like that. I would have had enough time to pull out my blaster and get rid of them. And so, so chili dogs were mentioned in Adventures of Sonic Sat AM. But when it comes to, but Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the more comedic one, was the one that really leaned in on that. And And it's funny how there are even still today references to like chili dogs in Sonic. I think they had a chili dog reference in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. All from this really kind of obscure, obsolete Sonic cartoon that was only in the US, and I think it was a US-made cartoon that still has that sort of trademark on Sonic lore ever since. Did I ever eat something special when watching Thomas the Tank Engine? No. No, there's nothing particular. I'm trying to think. I want to get... Yeah, so saltine... So I'd go through whole stacks of saltine crackers while playing Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap on my GameCube player. On Nintendo GameCube. So saltine crackers and Zelda the Minish Cap. Yeah, I was running around fusing kinstones while munching on saltines. And so chili dogs and Sonic, but I didn't eat the chili dogs while playing Sonic or watching Sonic though. A few years ago on the 4th of July one year, I did like do a personal, I popped in my Sonic Set AM DVDs. And actually I just happen to have this right here. I normally don't have this on hand. I know it's inverted. We'll go to my, where's my full screen? Yeah. Yeah, so a little show and tell here. There's my console cam for the my analog pocket, which is not present. But there's my DVD box set. I think this came out in 2006 or 2007. Cover art by the famous / infamous Ken Penders. But then the inside art of these discs, excuse me, the actual covers are cool. Because these are, they used they had an open call for fan art to use for the DVDs. And then the back of this one is cool. You have sort of a stained glass window with like Sonic holding a ring and Robotnik above him. And then, and here's the cover of disc 1. Arguably a bit more styled after Archie comics than Sonic Set AM, but then the inside is also fan art, and it's not just super skilled people, it's even people with relatively more simple skills got their art featured, which is pretty awesome. I'll just show the back of this one, and show the inside. Yeah, some of these are actually just done on like notebook paper. So that's my little show and tell interlude of my Sonic Set AM box set. And if you don't know the history of the artist behind this, because the artist who did this artwork is now, I guess, a persona non grata within Sega and probably a lot of the fandom. So if they ever re-release Sonic Set AM, they're not going to use that artwork again. But it was kind of a cool, because really only a few episodes of that show had come out on tape. People were relying on home recorded episodes being copied and passed around, and pirated episodes of poor quality on sites like Kazaa. And so to have the official high-quality box set with excellent bonus features, interviews with the cast and writers, it was really a special release, that box set. I'm really proud to own it. And now there's people are awaiting. I know Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the slightly earlier and more comedic interpretation Sonic cartoon by Deke, where Sonic was also voiced by Jaleel White. But that show is getting a Blu-ray release, and I'm guessing that Sonic. Actually, no. I almost jumped to the next phase prematurely of what I'm supposed to be doing. Are they streamed anywhere? You could buy them digitally on Amazon Prime and some other services, but unfortunately they're not available for for legitimately authorized watch parties. And for something as big as Sonic the Hedgehog, I really don't want to risk it in terms of doing an unauthorized sort of bootleg watch party, because I do watch parties of stuff where the copyright holders don't care about enforcing the copyright anymore, or the copyright holders, the entities related to them are extinct and they're never going to be released in any way, shape, or form, and they're not going to trigger any copyright protection protocols on Twitch. or anything like that. But, okay, we gotta jump down. You guys are a little too happy there. Yeah, very eager to, Oh my gosh, they jumped that high? Yeah, forget that. There's no way. I've never seen them jump that high. I'm not, there's no way I'm risking that. Please come back over here so I can shoot you. Please. I'm hoping they wander back over here. Do they get more bold if you turn the lights on and scroll back over here? As I do... If I would go 1 pixel further... You know what? I'm gonna have to do this part with the lights out. I don't like it, but that's what I gotta do. It's cool that you can turn the lights on and off. Like, even in NES games, I was... Like, this is easy to kind of overlook now, but the fact of these games looking the way... This game... The fact of this game having the level of scrolling... Of screen scrolling... That it does... It was kind of a technical triumph for the time period. A lot of people really didn't think that it was possible. They... Okay. Please. Please come back. Why? Please come back. Why are they... Are they really traveling in a pack, like in synchronization away from me? Is this their... Because they've acted more... Why are they acting so... I mean, they're always goofballs, but they're just... behaving in a manner I would not consider typical. Wow, I killed one... At least one of them I killed off screen. So are they gonna wander? Okay, so we're back on the platform. Hopefully I could herd these guys. I never remember. Did a bunch of them despawn? Like, I killed at least a couple more of them. I don't know why. I just really want to turn the lights back on. Oh, did I eat? Oh yeah, did I eat anything special with Thomas Sankogen? No, I did not. But I did, when I'm watching the Disney version of Pinocchio, when they were inside the whale, which I was never really scared of, I was not scared of that. Like, the two main scenes I hear about scaring kids in Pinocchio are the donkey scene and the scene where they get swallowed by the whale, and neither of those scenes really scared me. The donkey scene I just thought was just cool, like, a cool, I guess, non-fatal peril, where it's something kind of scary and that's a threat to the characters, but isn't something that could really happen in real life, and I guess that's why it didn't really scare me. But also the whale scene, I just thought was cool because they were inside a whale and they're trying to catch all the... I guess that... I remember something about there being a bunch of fish. I think I got them all. A bunch of, like, tuna fish, and then I would make my mom stop the tape and make me a tuna fish sandwich. So I remember watching Disney's Pinocchio and having a tuna fish sandwich. And as far as games with particular foods, I'm trying to think of any other combos of games and food. Well, at least now I could turn the lights back on. Now watch me get really far, watch me get further than ever before and find another scenario where I need to have the lights turned on. There's at least one other light switch in the stage, so that may come back into play. Now I just want to take a bit of a breather. There we go. Okay. Alright. There it is. I'm just gonna... Okay. That would be a really sad place to take a death after... Wait. Where's the robot? Okay, there we go. I just get scared whenever the robot's not there when I expect it to be. Okay, we made that jump. And we have to get... Where's our next robot? Okay, because there are times we've gotten trolled where the robot does not show up when the rules of the game... That is like... The window to make that jump is not fair. I will say some things are unfair. Like I said, there's other elements where I was falling and I didn't feel like, whatever, I'm falling, I don't mind. But that right there, that little jump, it's like a one, you have like a 1 frame window to make that jump, and I really think that's actually a problem with the game. And that was probably more than anything just me being frustrated. And okay, so we have to wait for a minute. Wait for these guys to hop down there. And okay, there they go. We're clear. We're clear. And you can make the jump over this last platform. Hop up. How many lives do we have left? We have 2 left? Okay. Yeah, even though I keep taking these deaths, there's sort of this rhythm where if I collect all the teddy bears, I tend to get more extra lives quicker than I'm spending them. I mean, come on, how many times have we collected that red key card, and I've yet to, in my entire life, get to the door where you actually get to use that key card. You enjoyed the magazine stream the other day? Yeah, I was really shocked when I realized that I had not done a magazine stream in over a year. I want to bring those back more often. At least do 1 or maybe even 2 a month. I want to make that a more regular feature. Yeah, if I was a professional streamer, I'd be doing it very often, but I can't stream every day, so gotta do stuff so I have electricity and a computer to stream with, and a internet connection fast enough to support the stream. So I stream somewhat sparingly, but yeah, we're almost a month through this first new pattern. I kind of started it late last year, but going out of town for the holidays and all that kind of stuff, it did make it apparent the sort of pattern I was building up of streaming between Wednesday and yeah. So now we have 3 lives again. So we put that switch down. Actually, no. We're gonna clear out the Vorticons down there. Oh my goodness, that is so bad. That is so lame. Like, that was just me being impatient and not accounting for the momentum, my character's momentum. That's all that was. Yeah, when I listened back to it, I know the background music, it was good. It was at a good level. I would have wanted it to be like 2 or 3% quieter, and yes, I do care that much. I was like, but because that was not the background music I originally intended to use. So I was kind of like awkward. I just had the last second use my hold screen music in my break screen playlist as a substitute, because at the last second I couldn't get my computer. I've been having weird problems getting my Streamlabs to listen to to work with the sound, to capture the sound just coming out of my PC. Like, I could hear it in my own headphones, but it won't carry through over onto the stream. Or the audio recording if I'm opportunity to get rid of at least a couple of those clowns. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad that you like them. And once again, this is like the second time this has happened, but I'll set out like a dozen magazines to read, or like not even a dozen. Like I put out like 6 magazines to read. I think I read 3 or 4, and I want to see if I get every source I could find lists that EGM that we read is EGM number 1, but the magazine itself describes it as number 2. I don't know if the first one is just didn't use the EGM name. There are definitely various other publications that existed that didn't use the EGM name. That was from the same, I guess, National Video Game Team organization. Oh my goodness, I'm doing it. Look what I'm doing. I can't believe I did it again. I keep getting impatient and going straight for the blue door, and I don't have the key card. I could try to jump straight onto the other robot, but I'd have like a probably 5% survival rate of that, and my survival rate isn't that good as it is, so I definitely want to improve my odds by activating that bridge so I can jump down onto the robot at the moment of my choosing. Yeah, I guess I have to jump straight from between those 2 red robots, and I don't see that going well if I were to seriously try that as a strategy. Oh. My doggone. Ugh. Alright, gotta do it again. Yeah, look, we have over 479 shots. There's like I have absolutely no reason to be conservative with my ammunition use. Almost 500 shots, that's ridiculous. And at one point, I feel like at some point we were actually low on ammo. We had to go to an armory stage specifically to load up on guns. Well, load up on guns. Well, the ammunition is represented as ray guns that appear on screen, but it just makes it look like you're collecting more pistols. Red key card, which we've yet to actually need yet, because we haven't gotten through this one part of the game. Man, we've already been at this for more than an hour. Come on. Come on. Now, mind you, like 5 minutes of that was show and tell with my SatAM DVD set that I happen to have within arm's reach because I had watched it actually just last night. And it's not often that I pop in my SatAM DVDs, so when I do, it's kind of like, oh, you're getting out the good stuff. And sometimes it registers the hits. Oh no, I did it again. Look what I did. I went and did it again. I ran straight over here instead of... Yeah. Okay. Can I take out... Oh! That never... Oh my gosh, that never happened before. I mean, there's no reason to be particularly stressed if I have no extra lives, but all that's going to happen is I'll see the game over screen. And we'll just hop right back into where we were before. Alright, got it. I'm at the edge of my seat. I need to calm down. I need to sit in my proper position with my hands on the keys and not be impatient, which I failed at. I got first place. Hey, how about that? At least we did something new. I never got first place before. Yeah, it calls for first place on the scoreboard that no one's ever going to see. So we start with 3 extra lives. If you collect those sabers, we can get 4. Now, as a matter of official policy, only on the first life will I go for those extra teddy bears. Normally, all those guys didn't jump into the plasma pool, but they were off screen far enough to the left, which is not their typical behavior, that I felt confident just going ahead and progressing there. turn. Yeah, I'm idling a bit. That was a jump that very easily could have not worked. But hello, pal, who ended our last serious attempt at this. There we go. I'm not even considering this as... I'm not even considering an attempt a good attempt unless I get to the point where I have to... Where I make that landing on the bridge platform where I have to jump to the next robot. At that point, that's when a run starts to become viable. I'm talking like I'm trying like a world record speedrun stuff. I'm just trying to beat the normal game. Just to beat the basic game here. Alright. Yeah. 33833. Okay. Alright. Alright, so now you have to fall over. You have to just land right there on... Oh, there we go. There we go. That was easy. We activated the bridge. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go for the, to kill the other Vorticons that are down there. Thank you for letting me be able to drop onto that platform, because I could have made it so that he couldn't drop. That would have made that section much more tricky. I probably would have lost at least a couple of runs to, There you go. Just wanted to scroll this. I did that? I thought I... Oh, that was... How do I... I was doing that... I was... Okay. Oh, that was so weak. I was just being impatient. I get... That's the thing. I have to do this beginning part so many times that the further I get, the more impatient I get now. Just like that, so... But the next run should be faster, because from this point onward, there's no real reason to go after that cache of teddy bears, which should save a minute or so. Actually, it's more like save like 30 or 40 seconds. So the better part of a minute, for sure. And you gonna fall? You gonna fall? Oh, there we go, there we go. We're good, we're good, we're good. And you know what? Like, maybe 25% of these runs, or maybe, like, I've lost at least 5 runs, specifically to me trying to kill the Vorticons down there for the specific purpose of wanting to turn the light back on. Because I do believe that, turning on the light will give me a better advantage in being able to see the, like, the edge of the platform, or something like that. I don't know. We'll just wait for the... Alright. I want to scroll the screen down. So I have to jump over here. There we go. Now I can see what's hiding down there. I killed at least 2 of them. I don't know if all 4 are down there. Yeah, all 4 have to be down there. I killed 2 of them just now. So we're just going to make that jump. Alright, there. Why is he hanging out? He's just walking to the left like that. Why is he... I never see... I don't know if they're like just several behavior cycles that the game randomly chooses between. No. Yeah, there have to be varying behavior cycles that the game just randomly assigns to these guys. Because sometimes they do I just act in bizarre ways that I wouldn't expect. If that guy over there is still marching to the left endlessly. Yeah, he's glitched out. Or his AI is... I wanted to see if that... Oh, wait. Is he jumping high enough for me to shoot? He might be jumping high enough for me to shoot. Yeah, we got him. Only one left. We got them all. Alright. We can now enjoy the rest of the stage, however long it may last. I'm tempted to make a save state when we get... If we get to a certain point, I'm gonna make a save state. I want to say I did it legit, though. Oh my gosh. It's... Like, it's not that I want to make the game harder. It's just that I want to beat... Like, if I use the save state and beat it, like, that's fine. But I want to... The way to beat it that would be special for me is to beat it how I would... If I was able to beat it as a kid in the 90s. Back when I couldn't beat the stage then. I want to beat it with the same parameters at my disposal then as I'd have now. But, how about this? Okay. We're going to, watch me accidentally reset the game. That would be hilarious. But, capture, take screenshots, save state. I'll just put V1. There we go. You didn't see, y'all didn't see that, but I don't think. But what I'm gonna do, hey, if we get down to an hour, if we get down to an hour left in the stream, and I have not beaten this, actually no, we'll play through the rest of this stream fully legit, and if we do not get through the, okay. This is already at a point where I want to take another... Just making that jump alone is not... We're going to make... Okay. We're going to... Save state. V1. There we go. Yeah, if we're going to get through the rest of the stream, and if we do not beat this game today... Oh my gosh! Okay. We didn't do it. Well, like, we didn't do what we meant to. Like, that right there was the we've proved that it's possible to make that jump and not die because the stupid electric... If that one little electric hazard was not on top of that pillar, we would have beat the game already. I'm sure of that. Okay. Okay. Alright. This is the second... I think this is the first time we ever got this far twice in a row. Okay. That was good. Like, look how narrow that window is. Like that is a ridiculous margin of error there. That is so not fair. Oh my goodness. Okay, we gotta remember to get the blue key card. I get... I'll see how I feel in 2.5 hours. And because in 2.5... Yeah, in 2.5... No, actually... No, in an hour and a half from now. In an hour and a half, if I have not beaten this game already, then I will allow myself to use the save state. And it's not doing something I haven't proved that I can't already consistently do. It's the fact that that one jump has like a 1-frame window. And that should be something for like finding a super secret cheat code or something. That shouldn't be just a basic to get through the level. Yeah, we got one of them. Oh, we got 2 of them. We got at least 1 more. And look at what I'm doing. I'm doing exactly what I said I wouldn't do. I'm acting as though I already have the key card. I got the red key card. I need the blue key card to activate that bridge. So, there we go. Okay. At least we cleared out the bottom there. And we're not going for the teddy bears, we're just going for the blue key card. I almost felt like I fell right in front of the robot. In a way, I could have survived, but I wasn't planning on, so it would have been a very extreme hazard. So it's funny. Okay, so at this point I have to wait for the... There we go. There we go. Just gotta... We've activated the bridge. There should be no Vorticons left down there. And if they are, they could jump up and kill me, and that would be a very silly way to end the run. There we go. Okay. And... Oh! Okay. I almost got on there the first time. I wasn't quite ready, but okay. Here we go, baby. Man, this... Alright. Alright, we try again. But one thing I feel good about, at this point I feel like I don't necessarily need the light to be on to progress, to make those jumps. So not killing those guys at the bottom is going to save time. And that's just me being clumsy. And, okay. Turn the light off. I'm gonna leave it off this time. I'm not even gonna go. As if I leave the light off, I don't have to care about the Vorticons down there, except for when I'm grabbing the red key card. And if I happen to kill 2 or all 4 of them there, so be it. If I don't kill them there, then I really don't have to worry about that. From that point, that was just me being silly. And yeah, and when you die in this game, you keep whatever ammo and points you have. So I only have 121 shots now, but when I keep restarting the stage and grabbing the ammo at the beginning, that's how I got up to like having almost 500 shots on my blaster. Ugh. This is never... Now I'm just being impatient. I'm not waiting for the guys to jump down there. That's the only problem I'm having right now, is just me being impatient. Alright. We'll wait. Thank you for cooperating this time and not just sitting around wasting my time. Yeah, it's like it's the loss of time it's so much more punishing than the actual deaths. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. Yeah, we leave the lights off. You wonder what the DS version of this looks like. Are you saying like what this would look like if it was on the DS? Because this game only released on Windows PC. The only Nintendo console, the only dedicated home console any of these games came out on was Game Boy Color. In 2001, they released a Game Boy Color sequel to the series, and even in 2001, I remember reading in magazines reviewers being like, "Wow, like they made another Commander Keen game. This is such a throwback." Whereas at the time, that was not even, that was exactly a decade old. So that would be like, think of a game that came out in 2012. And that would be like as long ago as, actually even more recently even too. It would be like a game from like 2014, pretty much. I'm talking about, wow, what a retro throwback. But in 2001, the gaming technology, the nature of the games had transformed so radically, so quickly. So we're going to go for, we have the blue and red key cards. There's a green key card and a green door. It's possible. There's some key cards that are just that guard treasure room kind of things. Oh, you mean the Switch version of Commander Keen? Yeah, the Commander Keen game that's on Switch it's a port of a DOS game. It's not a modernization of a DOS game. It is just flat out a game that I mean, the graphics, on all the other Commander Keen games outside the original trilogy, the graphics are updated to an extent, but it's not going to be like a modern graphics, like you know, with in a 2D environment type game. It's going to look like a lot like this and sound a lot like this. It's going to be interesting using a controller. But I actually do have that Commander Keen game, Keen Dreams, which is a game I think that was developed to be the fourth Commander Keen game, but there was some kind of weird licensing issue where the game, like, it just never came out at the time, and eventually it just kind of leaked to the public. This is back in the in the 90s. It eventually kind of leaked to the public. It was just being traded around, and somehow because of the whatever weird. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. This is officially as far as we've ever gotten in this game, right here. So what do I do now? What am I supposed to do? Well, first off, I'm gonna make a save state for this save state right here. I'm gonna make the save state. Okay. Alright. Yeah, somehow the rights to that last Commander Keen game fell out of the rights of Bethesda, who, well, it was originally id, fell out of id's... Alright. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm freaking... I'm save state abusing, alright? I don't get to do that again for another hour until we get to, like, the last, like, hour of gameplay, but for that, just because that was such tookus, like, I think after all these attempts, now that stupid platform, okay, Okay, I mean, we've broken the taboo, so we might as well go with this. Of using the save states. Because this is just too, I've been, how many hours do I have to play? Because I've played this one stage for, like, maybe 4 or 5 hours at this point? Like, at what point? Okay. Look, I proved that I could get this far. Like, I don't... it's morally nebulous, whatever, but I'm just gonna go ahead with it. I've been playing this stage since the 90s. Hey, Serial Wars, how you doing? Did you see my moment of disgrace there? Where I finally cracked and used the save state for this? Because I've been playing this stage, for like maybe 5 hours on stream, and many hours more than that back in the 90s. And it's like, I proved I can get that far, but it's like 6 minutes of setup. You missed me cheating? Alright, well, I cheated. I'm being frank with it. I was just wondering if you saw. I'm not trying to cover it up, because I'm leaving the VOD up and everything. I'm not going for a world record. But, I proved that it's like 6 minutes of setup to get to that one moment where it's not even like, oh, I'm bad. It's like a 1 frame window to make this particular jump. Alright. This is now further than I ever got in this stage as a kid. Like, look at... Because I only loaded that save state I only used it twice. And now I've gotten in here. Well, I mean, I've used restore points on the on the 3DS with the Wii Virtual Console, especially in... Well, we used it jokingly to play... what was that? To play Stinger for NES almost frame by frame. Because the thing with Stinger, it's a scrolling shooter, and the enemy patterns and the bullet patterns are designed for 3 players simultaneous play. It's designed for 3 players to take on. I'm playing it single player, so the game was virtually impossible even by stage 2. Mario Party Advance, I use the save stage. I use the save states to get through the casino stages, because the casino stages have like some of them have like 5-minute cutscenes you have to scroll through, setting up your attempt, and then okay. Are you gonna? I see that I perhaps. Okay. I now see why I'd want to leave the light off there. Load state. There we go. No, wait, this isn't... Okay, so we're gonna start from here. You never played Commander Keen? Yeah, they're good games, but this one game has this just moment where it's just very rubbishy. It's very rubbishy. This one, like, see on the left, where they're gonna loop cycle back around. There's a little electrical hazard on top of the pillar. There's little red robots. You have to ride them up and then jump off of it. And you have a 1 frame window to jump off the robot without hitting the hitbox of the electrical hazard and onto that platform. And I died dozens of times doing that. And I've been trying this since, like, the Clinton administration to make that darn jump. And I finally got sick of it. Because I proved I can get that far. And so to have some sense of legitimacy, some semblance of it, I'm not going to save state after this part right here. If you're not familiar with Commander Keen Serial Wars, I'll press my button on my stream deck to make the little write-up of what this is all about pop up. Now the little dog-eared alien dogmen that are hopping around are were the sort of loose inspiration for what became the Lunarians and Dorworms for my own fiction, and that I use as my sort of character on my hold screen and my break screen. I know Kalakaboy, you talked about, you know, it would be cool if I did the whole VTuber thing. I don't know, it would be cool to try, but it's so expensive to even get your foot in the door with something like that. And then, I like being seen. I like being seen on screen, and I would enjoy doing the VTuber thing as much as, at best, I'd enjoy it as much as I enjoy actually just being physically actually on camera. And then there's the fact that, I mean, if I did it, I wouldn't have to do every single stream that way. But then once I do the VTuber thing, especially in like the sort of furry context that it would be if I were to do that, once people saw, okay, so we have Washington D.C. and what else? Okay. Okay, so the lights being off there makes it so that they don't jump up. But I could imagine it being an alienating thing to people who, like, oh, like, see me if I got, like, a VTuber with, like, a door worm, or sort of my... No, that's not what I wanted to happen. Or of my Lunarian alter ego, and then, like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm actually there. Oh, I just scored a few teddy bears right at the end of the game. And a bonus life. I hope. Did you? For a second I was like, in those several seconds, did they really all... How do I... This is a dastardly jump right here. Okay. And that sign is treated as a solid object. Oh, you know what? I think they put that block there to let me practice for the jump I have to do over the, Yeah, I think, if I'm reading my game design language correctly, they put that block there to let me practice for the jump over the electrical hazard. No, I have to pogo jump right over. Okay. And I have to... and by the way, if I hit that stage, if I hit that lever, the game ends with an instant game over because I activate the laser that's aimed at Earth. But, yeah, but I do like appearing on camera, and it maybe means a bit more than it should for someone who looks like me to be doing what I'm doing. And I do recognize that as well. But, if I did... It's like the same thing with streaming. It costs so much money to even begin streaming, because I didn't have a computer or anything that could do this. I didn't have a capture card. I didn't have any equipment like for streaming. It would cost me a lot of money to get to start streaming, and I had no idea if I'd like it or not. So I took a big risk there. For VTubing, to get an avatar that would work to the level that I'd want it to, I'd have to, you know, hire an artist to build it for me and everything. And that is so expensive that it's like, what if I do that and I end up not liking it? Like, it's a bit of a risk. Okay. Okay. We made it. We made it. At least so far. I think there might be a second one. There are 2 targets left. No, no, no. Oh my gosh. The second I jumped over... I want to see. Because now Washington, D.C. is down there. There are 2 empty spots. Washington, D.C. was 1. The second, at what point does it count me as having saved Washington, D.C.? Was it when I made that jump? Is it when the screen displaying the capital appeared on the game map? Like, what point does it count me as having... I have to make another very tight jump here. I may die. Let's see. Okay. We made it. Wait a second. Oh no. There's a second door. Where did the first door lead to? Where is the last target? You know what? Did the game just put me in an unwinnable state? Because I can't re-enter that stage. Yeah, I can't re-enter that stage. I think the game may have just put me in an unwinnable state. Because what if the top door led to... Okay, did they just full out King's Quest me and put me in an unwinnable state, yet allow me to continue on with the game as though I could still win? I mean, if it put me in an unwinnable state, the fair thing to do would just be to give me the game over screen. Okay, I'm gonna... Okay. Load state. I'm gonna go through this again. I have to make sure I get that first. I have to get in that first door, because okay, actually we could Moscow. So once that appears on screen, is it gonna? I think the top door is gonna take me to a special stage that has, because as far as the game design, I guess what I use this term a lot, the vocabulary of the game design is telling me is that this should be the last stage of the game. If I've completed all the other stages with the ray gun, with the laser icon on top of the door. And the thing is, I've never actually played any of the King's Quest games, but I know that those games are infamous for, and putting you in a situation where you can no longer win the game, yet letting you continue on for like maybe even hours of gameplay before you discover that you can't proceed any further. I think there's one. There we go. Let's lure him down here. Okay. I'm gonna practice a few times. No, that's not. Okay. So, yeah, it must count you as having saved New York, saved Washington once you jump over that. I'm just gonna practice. Okay. Okay. We have now saved what? Okay. I guess once you make it over that point, it counts you as having saved the target. Okay. Why are they two stages? Why are they two exits if they both take you to the same place? I feel very... You just made another Deli Select honey ham wrap. I'm very... No, like, I feel like I just got trolled after, like, 20 years. Okay, what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna go... You're gonna go down here. This is the front. We're going to progress around the ship in clockwise No. So, actually, we're gonna go clockwise, starting from the 6 o'clock position. This stage, completed. Wait, can I? I can't go back into the ship. Okay, that stage, completed. This stage, completed. This stage, completed. This stage, completed. Or I could just say done. That's what it says on screen. This stage has the ray gun icon, which indicates that it's an armory. It's a stage with lots of guns you can pick up if you need more bullets. This stage, apparently the last stage, or seemingly like the hardest. Okay, that we finished. That stage we finished. This stage we finished. What's this branching path here? Okay, no. Okay, I just want to make sure. So we're just going to continue down this corridor. These two stages, both completed. This stage is complete. You know what I'm going to do? It seems like that's every single possible stage in the game that I... But no, we have a few down here. You have this stage complete. So... And we have the back one here. What's this? We have... We've got to... Yeah, we've got to try. We've got to beat these last few stages to see... I don't know, it's so strange to me that they would... That was stupid. I don't even care. I just want to get to the end now. I'm so interested in what the game's getting at this point. And the worst part is, now I'm so accustomed to playing through that one stage over and over that I'm just not used to things just like encountering random Vorticons just standing around as I progress through the stage. Okay. And I mean, there is at least one of these two stages that remains. Oh my gosh! They put a laser base here. I think. Or, no, this is... Well, no, I got... That is the imagery of a laser base. Like that glowing purple energy column thing. That's something associated with laser bases that you don't see otherwise normally. Okay. Well, there's a green key card. There we got collected. We're not going through that for a doggone teddy bear. Okay. I just had to check to see what was there. Alright, we're gonna go back over here. Okay, I was several pixels away from falling into the plasma there, and I'm glad I didn't. Okay. Alright. Oh, no. Do I have to take the hard path again? I do not like that. I do not want to have to deal with that stupid robot. Yeah, I might have to. We'll see where these blue platforms take us to a more desirable path. I don't think so. Oh, that was weak. That was weak. Sad. Alright, so we're gonna have to reload that save state. Yeah, what about the spaceship? The fact that it's a giant dog? A giant happy-looking dog at that. Yeah, their ship is a giant version of themselves, and the Vorticons are basically just dog men that very happily hop around firing their guns. They're very jolly evil aliens. Yeah, it's like just a giant, it's like the Great Fox, but it's just a big happy dog equipped with death lasers. If they are any cat people, they're in other, the only alien, well, this trilogy is called Attack of the Vorticons. So, if there are any other, sort of animal-derived loosely animal-derived races in the Commander Keen expanded universe. I haven't met them yet. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna have to beat the stage again. After we beat... Why are they 2 exits? I do not understand. Okay, we're gonna have to load that save state. Okay, we just barely made that. We almost got zapped. Yeah, I've not played any games of the Commander Keen series other than the 3 games of the original trilogy. I've only beat the first game, so... Yeah, they have to have hidden that one, the very last, target, the very last laser control panel behind that green door. And that other stage that's on the rear right of the ship. Come on down. There we go. So to lure him down here. Now, turning off the lights makes it so that none of the Vorticons in the game will jump. I guess they're afraid of the dark. Now, if I... Now, I can... I'm gonna go for the teddy bear here, because it will give me a 1-up. And the thing is, the stage that's left, the next stage I'm going to try to beat, is a stage that I honestly don't... It should not be as hard. Stage is not that hard. I just had bad luck being impatient. And just a couple of test runs to build my confidence. A couple of test jumps. Alright. Now let's give it a shot. And... Oh... We made it! We made it. Yeah, the second I make that jump over that electric hazard, it counts me as having saved that target. But I'm really interested in how and why there are 2 different exits. Alright, so at this point... Yeah, but we have to go all the way down to the lower left. Now, I have considered just walking the corridors of the ship. Just tapping the control button against every wall I can. Because that is actually how... I'll save this in position 2. Override it? Yes. Yeah, I have to remember if I come back in here, I have to use position 2. Now, what do I have to do to get... There's a Vorticon over here, isn't there? Yes, there is. Zap. Okay. Alright. Okay, we made it this far back up. Okay, actually, I think... Did we completely avoid the robot that killed us before? Yes, we did. Okay. Yeah. You pushy little red robots. Alright. Now, there's a Vorticon hanging out over here. Gotta be ready for him. There we go. What? That's the end of the stage. That's the end of the stage. That's the end of the stage. Alright, let's try the other stage. The only other stage in the game that is not I mean, we made it to the end of the stage. There's no reason... If beating this other stage doesn't end with a control panel, then the next thing to do is to walk around the entire stage map, just tapping the button, like the tab and alt button, seeing if it unlocks a secret passage somewhere. I mean, heck, this looks serious. I mean, the color palette here is cool. Oh, you know what? I can't jump that high. I think they're trying to make a thing where I have to somehow get a red robot to come down so I can piggyback jump off of him. Get that yellow key. Well, there's the red key. And the only way to alter the way in which the red robots move. Now, I only have a minute. I only have a minute left. So this is kind of unexpected, but... yeah, we're not going to, worry too much about what people may or may not, do in real life. You know, outside of unless you're talking about, like, fandom-type stuff. But, for now, I'm just trying... didn't really expect things to, get to a point where I beat that last stage... And yet, it's, yet I'm still playing? Because there's, the interface said that there's, like, 2 cities left to try to get into. Like, I mean, or 2 cities left to save. Meanwhile, I got through that stage. I expected there to be 2 control panels at the end of the stage for me to jump through. But instead, there was just 1. And the only solution, unless they did something completely ridiculous and antithetical to logical game design theory, then either this stage or the other... I mean, the other stage did not have a control panel on it, so I don't know why they would, have a thing about, have a thing to let you, potentially... Uh-oh, alright. So we're at a tricky spot right here. And what we gotta do is... Yeah, it looks like... It looks like we'll be safe from the 2 Vorticons down there. There's a very slim chance they could jump up there and then run up over and kill me. But if we go over to... Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it here. And if it gets killed while I'm off camera, then that's just gonna be something hilarious to come back to. So, I will be back in... Hold on. There, you gotta turn off. Yeah, you gotta turn that off so the music doesn't echo. Okay. Alright. I will be back in 8 minutes. No, actually, no, 10. Because I'll be back for another full 2 hours, so, at least. But, so I'll be back, and, so, thanks for sticking with me, and we'll see what happens next. Hey, I'm back. Alright, let me just set the timer for... Okay, one... Alright, we're... Hold on. There we go, we're locked in for another 2 hours. Just gotta turn on the headphone feed for my broadcast software and hit the... Come on. There we go, there we go. Alright, so it looks like those two little kids that were bouncing around in there, they made themselves scarce somewhere else in the stage. But the two adults are still down there, and they're guarding a little cache of guns and a keycard. I don't know why the... I mean, you'd think they'd have actually picked those up and used them against me, but... Alright. Alright, I mean, the point of this stage theoretically should be just to, give you as much ammo to pick up as possible. So, okay. But I don't... I didn't find out anything. Wasn't able to look that deeply into it, but even just checking out, I don't know, I Googled, very briefly Googled, how do you beat Commander Keen Episode 2, and I didn't even get a chance to really do any proper research into what the heck was going on or whatever, but... Alright. Alright, please. Alright. Oh yeah, he's actually in a lot of the art, he's intended to be specifically wearing a Green Bay Packers helmet. And the very few modern representations of the character, they sort of go with the green and yellow thing, but make it a bit more generic, a bit more ambiguous as to, what team the helmet's supposed to be for. Alright, how am I supposed to... I don't understand. How am I supposed to get that keycard? I mean, all that's down here on the right, past this yellow wall, all that's there is just a couple... There's a Vorta warrior dude, a Vorticon trooper, the ones that actually fire their guns. And then there's a lamp here. Okay, I can't turn that off. Okay. So, this is a new path we just opened up. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright, we have to give this another shot. Like, I don't know... I shouldn't have even wasted my time engaging with him. There was no practical reason to do so. I don't need those ammo... The ammo or the points that are down there. Look, he friendly fired another Vorticon down there already. Alright, so there are a couple of guns there. There's a red key card there. Okay. There's gotta be... Like, this seems like a stage, because of that creepy yellow key card. I say creepy because it really does look like they're gonna have sometimes they'll put all four different colors. You could have they could be up to 4 different doors in a stage. And sometimes they will put all 4 doors just directly in front of the stage exit. So it's not even like you're accessing a particular spot. It's just, you're just gaining admittance to the exit of the stage. And if they put all 4 doors at the very exit of the stage, and there's no way to get that yellow key card, you're basically soft locked within the stage unless you die. Oh my goodness. Gotta get that red key. They must have very specifically... I feel like they very specifically maybe timed that or something, or placed that with the intention of preventing you from... Okay, so I need to make the high pogo jump to get in there. I have to have the right forward momentum. Okay. Hey, we made it. Alright. 1, that's the red. I gotta go for the blue. Oh, you know what? I just realized the stage is color-coded. Okay, the stage is color-coded. This yellow area down here is near where the yellow key card is. This red area is near the red key card. And so if I make this jump... Alright. So the blue one, and then there's a green one. So I see that the stage is color-coded. I mean, the stage did look pretty neato, but now I understand a bit that there's some game design reason for it. Oh, okay. Those guys are just annoying. Those little kids bouncing around. But, you know, I can't even make. I mean, in game, it's not these weapons are supposed to be lethal. I can't even say like, oh, it's just a stun gun. They'll be fine. It's like, yeah. And if in one of these two stages, or in part of a stage I completed that I simply failed to explore properly, there is some additional lore about these guys. Alright, so we gotta get through here. Now we're in this red area. Oh my gosh, that was close. So what is over here? What is this? Oh, there are 4 doors. There are 4 doors. But all this is... I need... Wait, I don't even have the green key yet. How do I get to the green area? From below... Oh, you know what? If this state... I think I know what the game wants. I think I know what this game is getting at. Alright. They're gonna march on those sodas. Oh no. Okay, no, or maybe not. These sodas are maybe the key to completing the stage. Okay. So now they're gonna march over. Okay, here we go, here we go. Oh, you'll be listening in the shower? Alright, cool, thank you. Wait a second. Can these guys push me through the door? This is legit March of the Minis right here. Like, okay. March, 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 march. Oh, please. If these guys vanish from the stage, I will be heartbroken. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that was garbage. Alright. Okay. I see. These sodas. If I don't... It's possible that... Okay, I've got to get those robots all the way over here so I can bounce off them and grab that key card. That's the whole gimmick of the stage. Okay, that's ridiculous. That's unreasonable. It's unfair. But we gotta live with it. So we got... Okay. I'm trying to pay attention so I could make the jump as perfectly as I can. No, no. I gotta make the high pogo jump when I do this. Okay. Oh, no, no. No, not quite. Not quite. Almost. Alright. How about... Alright, there we go. We got it. The red one. And we just jump over here and get the blue one. I mean, this is a fun... I mean, let's see how it takes. I won't say it's a fun stage. I mean, it's not a bad idea to have a little... One, two. We gotta get the green key. And getting the green key seems to open the path to the blue key. I mean, to the yellow key. Well, and the path to the yellow key is there. It's just that you can't do anything. Yeah, okay, I see. Oh, you know what? Those 2 sodas, I can't collect those sodas. If I collect those 2 sodas, I can't complete the stage, I don't think. Alright, kid. Alright, now they'll... Nope. Alright, the way the hitboxes on these little robots work is a little funky, but... No, okay. Well, it's same effect. I don't think that's important. Yeah, the point is that I just have to get them. And I cannot collect those sodas. Oh no. You gotta be kidding me. Yes, I just killed those kids. Okay. Where are the robots? Okay, I just have to... Yeah, I was right. And actually getting them over here was not as punishing of a process as I expected it to be. Okay. Like, collecting those sodas with precision and accuracy has been quite the process. Okay. This should do it. Yay! Okay, we got it. We got it. We got it. Alright, you suckers. You get to live because you were useful. Now you just gotta get back over to the door and walk right out the exit. There's nothing stopping us now, so... Yeah, if I got those sodas, I would not have been able to get those guys over there. Okay. Now it's a little scary. Now this is a very satisfying thing to do. It's not often you get to do it. This is the first time I think I've done this since you started. I have not done this since 2001 at the most recent. But to walk through all 4 doors. So satisfying. Alright. So we completed that stage with no lives left. Yeah, there's only that one other stage now that we've got to the end of. I just sort of I just died kind of on accident. And if I beat that stage and if I beat this next stage and nothing happens and there's not like a laser control panel at the end for whatever the last city is, then I really don't know what to do. And then I'll have to just resort to trial and error. Oh no, no, no. Excuse me. Man, those guys jump high. Okay. It has those graphics. Yeah, there's one guy here. Got him. There's a... Oh! He did not... Okay. What I'm hoping... What I'm banking on is that whatever has to happen doesn't involve clearing both of those stages. But neither of these stages are particularly hard. With the other stage, it was just figuring out the way to do it. Okay, so we're gonna jump over. jump. You're not getting me this time. No? There, got him. Alright. Alright. Get our burger and soda here. Alright. You just gotta not get you know what? Actually, yeah, I have to. We're gonna have to navigate that stupid purple guard robot. Okay, we made it. Alright. Really no more serious threats. I think what killed me right before the door, the exit, the stage exit last time was something really silly at the last second. That was just kind of me being careless, the game being a little cheap, and me being very careless. I think it's more me being careless than the game's cheapness, if it is what I remember it being. Alright. There's a Vorticon up here. There we go. Took care of him. Is there another one? Alright. Yeah, I just fell down before. How did I even manage to die that first time? That's actually kind of embarrassing. How did I manage to... Oh, I was going for that stupid teddy bear. That's what happened last time. Alright. We are now... There's one stage left. There's only one stage left in the game that's accessible. You have to beat that stage with the key cards again. If we beat that stage with the key cards and the end of the game doesn't trigger or something changes on the overworld map, then it means that I have to start... Okay. F5. Let's save in spot 3. Yes, overwrite. Because we have no more... Yeah, if we... Yeah, if we... Yeah, this isn't hard. It's just a little time consuming. You have to try this red area. It's not a hard jump to... Well, yeah, it's not difficult in terms of there's no consequences for missing. You just have to try over and over. It's a very specific jump. I think they maybe tried to balance this jump so you had to bounce off the red robot. I saw that friendly fire action going on down there. There we go. And so we got our red. We go blue, because green you kind of have to do last. At least at the very least, it's probably that makes most sense to do it last, because there are parts of the stage that actually depend on whether or not. Oh, no. The kids down there make it hazardous. Okay. Once I take care of the adults, then the kids aren't so dangerous, they're just annoying at that point. So, oh, there we go. Alright. Yeah, when I come back from break, it's easy to forget. Like, as I go to reach for, like, a gamepad, then I realize, like, oh yeah, I'm playing on PC with a keyboard. Even though it's a platformer. Alright. So next we go for green. Down here. I'm not... No. Please jump down here. Oh no, they won't? Okay, so... Okay, I got one. The other one got away. It's gonna make trouble later, probably. Yeah, they're just so unpredictable. Like, the real hazard the little kids pose is that they can make you miss. Okay, you are gonna make me accidentally collect one of these soda cans and have to restart the stage potentially. Because the soda cans, like you see the robots, they actually respond to their hitboxes. That's very clearly what this game is based. this stage is based around. Yeah, there we go. And so they're gonna... Please, where are you, robot? Okay, I was about to say, the robot despawned. Oh, you know what? He's stuck up there. No! I think I might have blew it. I might have actually blew it. Because I collected the sodas in the wrong way. Yeah, he's gonna go all the way back around. He's gonna go around the entire stage now. And I think I have to follow him to make sure he doesn't despawn. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, that saved a little time there. And I'm following him throughout the entire stage, and the thing is, if he comes back, there's no guarantee he's actually going to interact with the that stage hazard, that little corner, in the way I need him to in order to collect the key card. Yeah, it's safer behind him, frankly, because if I'm in front of him, he could shove me. That's another hazard. These guys are useful for jumping off of, but if you're in front of them, they can shove you off of where you intend to be standing. Okay, you know what? No. Oh. Is this the death point? Okay. You know what? Okay. Alright, I thought he was gonna loop back around. He's not. You know what? There's some screwy behaviors these guys have sometimes in terms of how they interact with obstacles. But I'm now thinking that those elements were specifically put in so that this stuff like this could be done in a deliberate manner by the player. Sort of rooting them around like this. Okay. Alright, we're good. He's gonna end up back where we need him to. We just have to follow him around to make sure he doesn't despawn. Oh, or we could use this guy right here. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, little guy. I know he followed you all through the stage. That Vorticon there's still a threat, actually. I can't let my guard down too much, but for... Wow, he actually got... Wow, he got a few... Man, he's having no lives, having a few lives just from those two stages. Okay, we gotta do this again. For the second time today. Wait a second, what's up there? We beat every stage in the game. There are no stages left in the game to beat. So you know what we have to do now? Yeah, I'm getting my wrist ready. We have to walk across every surface in the game, pressing every surface on the game map, pressing Control and Alt to make sure that there are no hidden paths that you could walk through. Well, I guess we have to do the outer area first, and then we could do the inner area. I guess I might as well... Okay, at this point, I'm going to save over file 1. do the outer edge first. You have 90 minutes to beat the game. If we're gonna get stuck on the game all day, and it's true, I might even still be stuck on that first level we were doing. That was supposed to be the last level of the game. Might even be still stuck there if it wasn't for the fact that I did decide to use save states. I only had to use the save state 2 or 3 times to beat that stage. That's ridiculous. Alright, you're getting a nice keyboard ASMR action right here. Making sure that there's no hidden path. Because in the first game, there's a part of the map there are parts of the map where you just hold the button against the certain corners of the game map and on the level select screen here, and you just pass right through them. So now you have to do that here, and it looks ridiculous. It looks like I'm trying to QA check the game. You've beaten every obviously accessible stage in the game. And in fact, there are things in the game that I remember. Things I know for a concrete fact had to be in there. There was no way it was like, oh, something I misremembered from 20 years ago. It's something specifically that I know was in there that I didn't find. So it means it was either hidden in a level that it's actually a character who gives you a little bit of a lore dump. Alright. So we're all the way back at the front. So now we gotta just walk around. Okay. Alright. I've beaten every stage in the game. Like, what could be left? Alright. So, we're gonna have to... I have to make sure nothing sensitive is on here, like no passwords or anything visible like that, but alright. Actually, yeah, okay. I have to set up, we're going to search in real, we're gonna go live, we're gonna do a hunt for tips live on stream, because at this point, but it's not gonna be interesting to just watch me fumbling around when you can't even see what's going on in my browser, so I just want to get out. Alright, I don't use this browser for anything else. I just want to make sure no banking info or anything crazy like that, or alright, so okay. So if I go to... So I'm going to have to make a new browser source in Streamlabs right now. Okay. New window. Window capture. Actually, let's use an old one. Let's use... What is this? I have no idea what this is. Let's use that. It's just called... This shouldn't be anything that's used for anything else. So I can just overwrite this with the browser I want to have. Okay, so properties. Windows, Firefox, DOSBox, Explore. Okay. Windows. Okay, Microsoft Edge. There we go. There we go. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna resize this with this so you could actually see my face. There we go. And now we're just going to open up the browser. Okay. Oh no. Yeah, just resize the window there. Alright, so I'm just going to type in, I don't know what this is suggesting because I never used this browser before. Commander Keen Episode 2. Alright. The Earth... Metacritic... Yeah, we're going to look at Metacritic scores for a 30-year-old 3D DOS game. GameFAQs.gamespot.com. Okay, I did not realize that GameFAQs was part of GameStop. GameSpot. I don't know how long. Level 1, 2... FAQ. This is an FAQ. There are two FAQs. One's from 2011, one's from 95. Let's go for the 95 one first. Just, you know, like, how could we not go with the ancient FAQ for this? I just want to take a look, make sure. Yes. Okay, we could... For this, I'll zoom in the sides. I'll blow this up so y'all could actually see what's going on. Please let me drag the other side, Streamlabs. There we go. I'm going to inflate this a bit. Please let me drag it out. Please let me... There we go. Alright, let's... Well, I have a Keen FAQ. I stumbled across Apogee/ID in their games the past year, thanks to a neighbor of mine. I suspect that many shareware unaware people may also be too, hence this to explain the excitement. I have been involved with various computers and peculiarities of their software since 1962. I admit I somehow missed the entire shareware scene. True, I'm a recent PC convert. I bought my person in 91 after enjoying IBM and DEC mainframes at work and Macintoshes at home. Wow. Alright. What are the background? Wow, this is this guy in 95 uploaded this really Keen 4. I don't care about Keen 4 and Keen 5. Okay. On a how do I... Okay, look at this. How do I download a game? Following the transfer of a game to your host, the next step is to download it to your home computer. Several protocols can be used to accomplish this. Your communication software most likely supports the more common protocols such as X modem, Y modem, Z modem, and Kermit. Use the protocol standards supported by both your communication software and your internet host. Here's an example using X modem. To transfer a game from a Unix host to a PC running Procom Plus on a Unix host, type %xmodem-sbk4keen.zip. And wow, this is pretty bananas. Okay, this is way... Okay, how do I enter the cheat mode? Where do I go for help? Spoiler section. Wow, this is a very modest FAQ. You know, would I recommend this guide? I find it odd. It's just an overview of the series. It's really almost more how to download the... Oh, let's look at the history. Yeah, this dates back to 94, and the last update was in 95. Yeah, so that was... Excuse me. That was more of a guide. I'm gonna fix the view in a minute. Like, it keeps altering the field of view here. So excuse me. That's more like it. Alright. Let's see. Okay. Alright. We're gonna have to blow this back up again, so excuse me. I was definitely not expecting the stream to go like this today. Like, I do not know how I could have beaten every stage in the game and not have beat... Unless I have a glitched copy of the game somehow? Or, like, an anti-piracy copy? Because, like, ironically, like, the first game was shareware, the second and third were not. And I purchased this version. Like, yeah, I could go to any DOS archive website and just download Commander Keen. But I did legit buy these games off of Steam. Which just gives you, like, just the file and it's bundled in with... Okay. Note on pirating. What is pirating? Oh, that's funny. It's actually talking about... Okay. Who and I am Dave Allen. There are 8 official Commander Keen games, and one made more recently for Game Boy Color. Okay. Oh, wow. They're different versions. It highlights different versions of the games. Beta. Very different from final release. Tank robot shoots lower. Completion shoots lower. Completion of Red Maze City is mandatory. Europe statue and first Red Rock Shrine gives you a completely different message. Story screen shows cutscene of Vorticon stealing Being with Bacon Megan Rocket Parks. Game not winnable. Ending not implemented. No God mode cheat. Various changes. 1990, possibly version 1.0. Earlier preview screenshots of Keens 2 and 3. God mode doesn't allow walking through solid tiles on world map. Remove the... Okay. Alright. The earth explodes. Okay. Alright, so I'm just looking at... I can actually guess which games... Okay, Keen must die. Schoolhouse cannot be reached without cheats. Fix scrolling. Alright, this is stuff about the later Commander Keen games, which I want to skip over. Will play Commander Keen? Why play Commander Keen? Will there be more Keen games? Surprisingly, okay, so you could get, they're talking about the ways you could buy them. They mentioned the Steam store. What is shareware? What's up with it in 3D realms? Note on pirating. Pirating is the unlawful breaking of the copyright of a game by giving away or selling it without removing the original copy from your computer. So say I have Commander Keen and I gave it to my friend. Wow, they're just, yeah, actually just telling you to just buy the game legitimately. Commander Keen's universe. Different Commander Keen cameos. Well, is this just another? Are you gonna? Okay, this document is gigantic. These have to be. Yeah, I don't want to see stuff about the Commander Keen games I haven't played yet. Yeah, this is bizarre. I did not think I'd be... Alright, Commander Keen... where is episode 2? Okay. Episode 2. No, I think it's working. I'm just fine. What are the official Commander Keen games? How do I control the game? I'm back at the table of contents. This is basically... What are the lyrics to Eat Your Veggies? What are the lyrics to Aliens Ate My Babysitter? Standard Galactic Alphabet, Secret of the Oracle, hints, tips. 6.1.2. Okay. There's a section I'm going to hang on to. Let's try 6.1.2. It's undocumented but important. To pull switches or press buttons, press the pogo stick button you're near. Tantalus rays are destroyed by using the pogo to hop up and shooting the purple. By shooting the purple sparking cell in the glass bubble? Okay. I very specifically... Okay, we very specifically didn't have to shoot the cell to Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Keen can leave Rome's Tantalus Ray Love still active if he goes far right as possible at the beginning and hopping up a little before the hole. If he does that, though, the game will be left in an unwinnable position. On the world map, the SGA and... Okay. Wow, we encountered a glitch where we left the game in an unwinnable state. Okay. We left the game in an unwinnable... Like, due to an error in the game and an oversight in the level design of this game. And it's like, if that happened to me in, like, King's Quest or something, that's like, okay, I have to get good and try over, the game's being a troll. This is just an oversight on the game developers where Yeah, I'm officially considering this a victory. Like, yeah, I beat the game. I've beaten every single stage in the game. And, so here's what we're gonna have to do. I was not planning on this. Alright. So I was not planning on this, but we're gonna make that go away. What we've got to do next, and I was not planning on this at all. I have to look on... Let's look on YouTube. Let's see if I can find... Okay, there's a task. There's a speedrun tutorial, any percent Commander Keen Episode 2, The Earth Explodes. This is by Captain Clever. This is 6 years old. They're opening up that new tab.
Detailing how to speedrun Commander Keen, Episode 2, The Earth Explodes. Playing it in a manner to beat the game as fast as possible.
Alright. So, yeah. So, wait, to make up for... So, I'm going to post a link to this in chat. Oh, hold on, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to drop this in chat. And then, having done that, now what I'll do is I'm going to pull up. Now I don't know. This may not work the way I wanted it to.
Here are my impressions.
Okay. Yeah.
Main E3 2012 presentation.
Yeah. Very funny. Okay.
June.
Yeah. That's the very poor video making fun of me over over Nintendo E3 2012 by making me say things that I never actually said. If you want to make fun of me for saying things I said, then that's one thing. But you want to make stuff up and then laugh at me about it, it's kind of like, yeah, all right. But where is... yeah, Cammy Dunaway coming out of my mouth was the best part of the video. That was... Okay. So we have to go... Properties... There we go.
Hello, I'm Captain Clever, and this is a video tutorial detailing how to speedrun Commander Keen, Episode 2, The Earth Explodes. Playing it in a manner to beat the game as fast as possible. Also known to runners as any percent.
So, hold on. I'm going to... Well, I have to change the... Well, can I? Yes, actually, this does work just fine. Fortunately, this is a 4x3 video. Because, so, why don't I just want to test something real quick. Let's see. Will this...
this game is a lot more challenging than the first game, and as a result, I do...
Alright. So, what I'm going to do... And now, we beat the game. We just didn't get to see the ending. So we'll watch this video. This is an hour-long video, or at least we'll watch most of it. I dropped the link in chat. And if we need to... Yeah, I cannot believe... Now, if I need to turn the volume up on this, let me know, and I will do so.
Earth explodes, playing it in a manner to beat the game as fast as possible, also known to runners. This game is a lot more challenging than the first game, and as a result, I do recommend playing Commander Keen 1, Marooned on Mars, maybe watching my tutorial, or just getting a good feel for the game, and learning maybe how to run it. I will more or less be assuming that you have good fundamentals in playing the Commander Keen Vortican engine, this game and the previous game and the next game, all use. It's the control in these games is fairly difficult, but if you don't understand it, then you will find this game.
And if you're not used to it, I'm used to it. So
there's a lot of careful manipulation, and we'll be going over completely different topics in the first game, such as enemies.
they're starting right at the DOS prompt, by the way. So
on special tricks that we have to deal with, and it's better if you have a good grasp on how to play Keen and how to use Keen to his to a decent.
Yeah, the physics are very precise in terms of his momentum and stuff like that.
Anyway, with that said, let's continue on.
If you can't hear both this guy and me balanced well, let me know.
Whoops, sorry. We set cycles to max. Either way, it's 100% max. This is just to minimize loading time. This game is commercial. You can't get it for free like the Commander Keen 1 if you wanted to. You do have to purchase this one, so you can get it from Steam. You can get it.
Very easy to.
You only get the first 5 games.
Pirate
$5, so it's pretty nice. You happen to have a floppy.
But it's also just as easy to buy. Like for an old DOS game, it's pretty easy to get your hands on legit.
But I don't think there are significant enough differences for that matter. Let's go ahead and get started. I guess just as a quick reminder, you can press F3 to redefine your keys. Push the button and push wherever you want to go. Yes. You can save your game. I don't think I actually mentioned this in Keen 1, but with F5 you can save your game. Just press a button. And you have to load by exiting, continue game, and then you press the same button you did for the save. Anyway, whatever. That might be more significant in this one. The first game you learn levels. The first game you learn. In this one, sometimes you really have to learn levels.
Yeah.
So, very first jump we have to do in the entire
Speedrun strats. Let's go.
A little challenging. I usually don't mess it up. Actually, in the previous recording, I just kind of messed it up. It was silly. That jump right there is simple. You can't have a maximum pogo jump because you'll bump your head. You can't have a minimum jump. Because bump into the wall, and you can't jump too late, which would be a lot easier to do, because then you'll miss the gun. We have to growth grab the gun and continue moving without really losing any momentum. In fact, this entire level can be finished. I believe in it's either 5 or 6 jumps. Let's go ahead and count. But I don't ever have to release the.
Actually, I'm gonna look at something real quick. We're gonna stick with this for now. I'm gonna see if there's maybe another video.
So 1, 2. Right in the middle of the stairs, 3, 4, and 5. And we're done with the level. Very straightforward. Getting these jumps, and this is really just the best example of why it's important to get the fundamentals down. None of these jumps are. I mean, you can do like a minimum right here. But hold on. I feel like I've missed something. Yeah. From here. Yeah. Well, whatever. I showed it. I'm getting myself
Actually,
confused
you know what?
It's always harder to explain the thing without the explanation. But just jumps like that. Very straightforward. A lot of those
This is
require
actually
a bit of precise control on
better
pressing the
video
jump
for
button
what
right.
our budget is right now.
But always hold the button right. From here, we can go to either of the wings. You can pick either of these levels in whatever order you want. It doesn't really matter. I recommend the one on the right because there's a lot more that you have to deal with that could ruin the run. So best to get that one out of the way early. So
Wait, it's
starting up.
Okay, it says any percent.
We're gonna have to snake our way.
Oh, actually, we're gonna stick with this. It says any percent.
But we have a few
So is this an essential?
The first one is the Vortican Youth, which we'll see on the right. What we want to do I'll just show what happens. Bam, can't move. Really can't move. You can just shoot these guys once. He disappear? You can just shoot them and you're fine.
It says any
the way
percent.
you'll want to deal with him as soon as you enter right around this position, a little after from this foreground.
You know, and this I would have been able to beat the game if you were able
He shouldn't
to.
actually be on screen when you start shooting, but by the time you start moving, he will spawn, and then you'll get him. then you'll sometimes he jumps over it. It's pretty rare, but it's pretty rare. But the reason we do this level first. The reason we do this level first. Unfortunate incidents out of the way. There's gonna be another 2 vortices.
Does he need the ammo?
Over here. That guy popped up. That guy popped. More often than not,
does he need the ammo in this stage?
This corridor, which really complicates. First, let's talk about the guard robot. The guard robot here shoots randomly. He can only move left and right when he bumps into walls. Yeah, any one of those shots will kill you. And also touch. What you want to do in this area, depending on how nice the guard robot is, either you have to jump across all of these, and note that you can't continuously jump the entire time. You will eventually.
Wow.
But you will eventually.
Yeah, he okay. All right.
You don't perform a perfect periodic movement. Notice that I keep moving closer and closer to the other edge as I make this jump, and eventually one of them. No good.
Okay.
No good. I can now show this shot off. So right there. Let's see if one of them is. Okay. No. Whoa. Okay. All right. So what you have to do is either jump on the top or run across the bottom. Since every jump wastes a little bit of time, you'd rather not do that. But sometimes this guy doesn't let you stay on the bottom and shoot. So the difference between having to jump the entire time and not having to jump at all, except at the end here.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna watch. We're gonna.
Do what you can. I would say it's not worth the reset. Because there's a lot. There's a lot. When it comes to randomness, as opposed to randomness.
Let's drag this forward a bit.
I wouldn't say it's too worth it. There's a lot of things that can cost you a lot more time than 1.5 seconds. That are much harder. Much harder to do. Not even necessarily as lucky. So from here we just want to jump over here. Fall down to this area.
You're hearing echo? Oh gosh.
Try your best not to hit any of these along the way. If you do have to hit one,
you know what?
I've
been watching this for like
here we just make a
7 minutes. Oh no. I'm watching this for 7 minutes of just echo. Oh my gosh.
Pogo goes way too high, and we would end up kind of bumping into some of these right here.
Alright.
So instead you want to do short hops. Even though the pogo is technically
oh, you know what? I know.
We
need to get rid of
across this area without bumping in. These 2 jumps. Just make sure you don't hit the edge of the block here. This is the kind of stuff where you have to have a decent rhythm.
Okay, no, that was my microphone. You need to
back a little bit on the moment across it effectively.
All right, that should take care of the echo.
I'll try not to mention it too many.
That should take care of the echo.
Just keep in mind that there's a lot.
Yeah, I'm sorry I did. I hope it wasn't like
more
reverberating and like filling your shower stall with like echoing
the enemy called, and I'm
like
just gonna
cacophony.
Because I've been shooting.
I hope it wasn't like a feedback loop. I hope it was just like you were hearing it twice. This now it should work fine.
So the next
I totally was okay. Now it's good.
It is a Vortican that has 3 HP and can shoot you in addition to.
Yeah, I never really thought of the characters in this game as having HP, but I guess the terminology makes sense.
Which is pretty annoying. So I'll try to show off this guy a little bit, but I will also explain the strategy, and I will do that strategy, and then I will continue to show off the Vortican.
Please let me drag up.
But what we want to do, because the enemies are so random in this game, we have to do a little bit of a compromise when it comes to speed versus safety. You might not think that that's too important on this second guy, but believe me, for as many times as he can ruin a run, you'd rather just kind of make sure that you have some level of consistency to go with. Not that
I don't. If I was wild, I'd go ahead and get out my.
I stand right here.
I don't have my analog pocket ready. I just. Yeah, we're gonna end.
Point, holy crap!
We're gonna watch this, and then we're gonna watch. He has like an 11-minute world record run, and then that's when I'm gonna end the stream.
They are really random. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I cannot believe we
anyway
encountered a glitch that made it impossible to get to trigger the ending, even though we beat every single stage in the game.
They will actually charge you sometimes, which is really scary, and it means that you can't really fight them on an even
And you know what?
Because it turns out that your shots don't collide. You don't get like a power struggle. But they have 3 HP and you have 1, so they will always win that exchange. Anyway.
No, I was noticing throughout most. If we look back at the VODs, throughout most of the playthrough, I was like, oh, the last stage has to have 2 targets in it because it's not giving me. It's saying that there's still an extra target left and it doesn't line up with the number of stages left.
That'll destroy the Tantalus Ray and make it easy to pass through. The other thing you can do is simply jump on top of the Tantalus Ray Center, and Doing so technically counts as completing this objective. However, you might notice on the sides there are these electrical hazards. These things will kill you, and they're pretty nasty about it. I've never tried to optimize this route to do it, but you can theoretically.
Oh my!
Save,
I was doing like pro strats the whole game. You could just shoot the center and turn it off. You know what? Someone came into chat and like the last time I streamed this and told me about it, and I forgot.
And not to mention that the odds of you being able to not only do it, but do it fast enough such that you're saving time. I don't personally think it's worth the effort given everything else that's in this game. So you'll notice this is the exact height you would want to be. And turns out maximum pogo jump is exactly what you need in order to make this shot. So if you stand on this first step before you get to the top, and you just go maximum, you shoot, bam, bam, everything's safe.
Wow.
Notice these hazards are blown out.
Wow, I did not know you could
These
do
two
that.
Jumps,
you just shut it down.
You have to do them quite a few times. Whenever there's a Tantalus center, you pretty much just have to do this kind of thing. And that's the level.
That is...
So that's, I would say, one of the more random levels in general.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so. That doesn't mean that... Well, that's why we deal with it early as opposed to this level. This level has less randomness. It's still got a bit. A lot of these levels have randomness just because any level that has enemies in it that aren't moving perfectly has randomness. These guys are called a scrub. That particular trick I did, and I'll show it again because I've already messed up other things, but that particular trick I did allows you to have him drop earlier. I just did it without thinking. It's pretty great. So let's try this again. You get a few lives in this run, so it's no big deal. Also, you can stand on these things, soak in the scrubs. The scrubs are something that you yourself can stand on, and that's how we have to beat this level. So that's important. But we also have to get this guy over to the pipe over here. In fact, this pipe, you'll notice a little square right there. That's actually a special symbol-like language known as the Standard Galactic Alphabet, or, you know, an alphabet known as the Standard Galactic Alphabet. And that sign reads "Go Up," and the thing in the very bottom right is a period, but whatever. We'll see that sign in another game, by the way. Standard Galactic Alphabet helps us translate a number of things on and in the ship. For instance, I believe the message outside of this map reads London, and this is, in fact, the Tantalus Ray that's ready to attack London or something. But what you want to do with this scrub...
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. I'm actually learning new things about the game right here.
Since it's a solid surface for him. But if we can get rid of these Vorticola when he's in the very middle, like so, he will fall directly down.
Yeah, it's tricky navigating those cans to make them drop at the right time.
From here, you want to grab this gun. And I missed it. Great. Whatever. There's more guns on the way. I'll just grab them. But it's important that you grab the very first gun of the game and the gun in this level. If you do, you'll be good to go on pretty much guns for the rest of the run. Unless you're making, you know, accidental shots. It's like, oh man, I better do this jump, and no, I messed up. Hopefully that's not too much of a problem anymore if you've gotten through good fundamentals in Commander Keen. So from here, we made our maximum pogo jump over this area. By the way, when you're dealing, and I think this guy just loops, so we can show this off again. When you jump up here, I usually wait until he's about to enter the tube, do a somewhat of a medium pogo jump, and then just do a full one to get up. And then from there, we just make our jump.
And you know, I didn't even think... I specifically did not save. It took a while for me to save after I beat that last level.
If you jump on
I mean, the last level in the game, the level at the head of the ship with the laser that was targeting New York.
It's why
that was targeting Washington.
These things before
because I didn't want to save because I'm like, what if I accidentally encountered a glitch? But no, I didn't save specifically because I didn't want to save over if I had gotten the game in an unwinnable state.
You'll see that come to a head in the second last level.
But I triggered that. I mean, I 100%ed this game.
Up again. You could try to optimize this a little bit, maybe like bump your head early so that you can jump out of this area. But that's not too significant. Like I said, there's so much going on in this game that the tiny optimizations aren't always important. But yes, if you're on this, gosh, again, if you're on that very top one, he could laser you. So on the platform just below it gives you a much safer area to be. And then as soon as he starts falling down the steps, you're good to go. And as it turns out, from that one particular, that particular platform I mentioned, you can directly perform your pogo jump and shoot. This is an example of an area where you wouldn't be wasting time as opposed to trying to jump over these hazards. So moving on. This run's pretty mean. And we have yet to see the true meaniness of it. So, let's go on to the next level. There is an optional gun here if you need it. Probably shouldn't need it because it does waste time to get it and stuff. Wow, he decided to do the fun thing. But when you're dropping down here, just make sure that you're lined up properly. Come on. Okay. Just make sure that when you drop down, you're lined up with the second tile so that you can just jump straight.
There we go.
And then you want to shoot this guy.
Man, that jump should have killed it.
Sometimes he dodges it like
I'm
he
just
did.
noticing how far these jumps are really.
Usually you can just jump around
watching.
him anyway. I like to shoot just to be safe.
No, honestly, this is the first time I've ever watched someone else play Commander Keen.
You can't do anything with Pogo.
Because for years, I've put off watching these games just so that I wasn't reminded of things, so that when I played it myself, it would be as fresh of an experience as possible.
We have to do some stuff with these special... Well, I already messed it up. Maybe? Yeah. But...
Yeah, if I had beaten the game normally, if the game... Beating the game went the way it should have, I would have went to Helios because the weird way that the game went, even though we 100%ed it. Let's watch. I decided, hey, let's watch this instead.
You shoot the third one, you jump over the fourth one, and with the fifth scrub, you can actually jump through him as you go. And in fact, I think I can kind of show it off here. It just means that I'm going to have to do this a little bit differently, but like so.
I did not know those little red butler robots were called scrubs. That's a perfect name for them, actually.
Jumping, because if you don't, the timing kind of gets messed up, and you can't get past these scrubs quickly. So, from here you want to perform. This is one of the more precise jumps in this run if you want to go for it. It's a very barely pressing an it's slightly more than the minimum pogo jump. You don't quite get the horizontal distance you need with the horizontal minimum. Even if
these jumps are really precise to save these frames.
Let me just try to show if that's... Yeah. Doesn't quite make it. You have to add just a little bit
of your
own
force. You did it the first time.
And even then, it's not easy. I love it. Every time I do, like with previous recordings, I always get this on the first try, and then I try to do it a bunch of times, and I just never get it again. But trust me when I say this is actually quite hard. From here, if you want to, you can try to clear this jump. But we have to deal with this Vortican. Usually, I have a couple extra shots. So you can like slide shot him and things like that. But this guy can be a real pain, and one thing to discuss, I don't think this could ever happen in the previous game, so I will explain it now. But if an enemy gets caught on the very edge, when they finish jumping, they will refuse to move if you're on this side. For some reason, they think they can move to the left, but they can't, and they'll keep jumping, and they'll jump straight up, and it's.
I think we saw that happen during the stream, actually.
They do something, but. If you just move such that he's to the right of you, he will then begin moving to the right, and you can free him out that way. Not too important, but it's something to keep in mind. So yes. From here, we have a number of areas we could go. We could go up, we could go right, we could go left. I just take the path. I think the tool-assisted speedrun more or less takes this path, and the previous record holder had taken this path. So I just do that. So what we first do is go right, and I'll show it so that you can get an idea of it all at once. First we go right down into this level, then we come back up and hook down again to take that level out. Then we head over to the left, and we continue going left, left, left until we get to this level. We do that one. Then we head over to the top, and we take a left from here and go 1, 2, 3 left to right. Neither of the corner levels.
Yeah, sorry, not a whole lot in terms of commentary for me personally, but
this final level.
Like.
So that's how that goes. And
yeah, this is like the only thing I feel like doing right now is watching this. I might as well watch it on stream.
First in a given set, and just that's pretty much how it goes. So let's start with you. Yeah, all these names here actually mean things. We've already saved Cairo and London. Now we're going to go help Sydney. This is a good level to understand that we have some advanced controlling to do in this game. You can stand on the vertical, like I said. If you do a maximum pogo jump, you can kind of slightly barely make it. It's not a bad jump or anything. But if you somehow miss it and the vertical will go away, you can always ride the scrub to get up here in a pinch. Now then, moving on to the harder section of this level. You'll notice these jumps right here. We have to get to the top of this section. These jumps are pretty tough. I will be standing at least half off of the tile when I'm pulling these off. It's kind of like the ceiling pogo clip in Keen 1, where you're barely on that tile when you perform the jump. Even if you're using the setup, you can visually see that Keen is not even anywhere, but he does it anyway. But yes, barely. This is not, you know, there isn't actual ground here. I'm just jumping where there doesn't appear to be anything. And from here, we want to grab this key card. So we've collected 2. If you need another gun, if you're worried about your pistol ammo, you can grab this one. This one's pretty easy to grab. And then we fall straight down and press these 2 doors. Now this next section consists of 3 enemies, 2 normal Vorticans. Vortican normal, the ones that, if you remember the first game, they took 4 shots to kill. They only take 1 shot, and they have different jumpsuits in this game. So they're a lot less threatening, and you can usually shoot them without losing too much time. There is a Vortican elite here, though, so there's 3 enemies in total, and we want to get through rather quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump up to the top of that bell-shaped, well, pixely bell-shaped green, I don't know, just rise. Just it's a
tower.
But we're going to jump onto that and shoot before we land, and then we're going to make another jump and shoot again. And we're going to be shooting it around the height where we expect the 2 Vorticans to be. And as we're doing so, we are also simultaneously avoiding the Vortican elite, which is another way of saying that hoping he isn't particularly mean to us. But it is more the exception than the rule that he is mean. So I'm going to try to execute this now. It's very time sensitive, meaning I can't let any of these guys spawn when I do it until I start doing it. So let's get it started, and hopefully this works out. Oh, nope. We went off the rails on that one. That was 2 different sets of bad luck. I was ready to continue performing that, but not only did the Vortican elite get in the way of our first shot, another Vortican, well, the first Vortican decided to dodge the shot. I was almost...
You know, this is the second person I've ever heard say Vorticon out loud.
They're usually not.
He says Vortican. Like it's interesting.
So you notice the first shot only barely makes it in time for that first Vortican to spawn. So it's kind of stuff you have to worry about. You could try to go around here, but you'd have to wait for the guard robot, and sometimes the Vorticans will just jump up here anyway. So I recommend learning what I showed, or just coming up with your own variation. But it's important to try to minimize time losses when you're going for things that are slightly safe. Honestly, I'm not sure of a much faster way to do that that wouldn't involve really hoping for some good luck. So what I perform is kind of the general hoping they don't move too soon or too high strat. Alright, so this level is fun in that it has a platform cycle, which means that we can take a little bit of time. Also notice, this is the only level where we don't start by running to the right. Running to the right is a very common thing to do in Commander Keen levels, so you get used to it. And I will often find myself running a little bit to the right when I start this level. But it's okay. We have a platform that takes, I don't know, we had like 2-3 seconds before we can miss the cycle, because it's a fairly easy platform cycle, let's just say. And by cycle, I mean the time it takes for the platform to finish such that it is landed in exactly the same place and in the same direction. You know, like a periodicity type sort of thing. So from here, we're going to do 2 maximum jumps, 1 minimum, and another maximum, and we just run to the left. Run to the left to make jumps when we need to. Like so. Just never stop pressing that left button, basically. We want to land in this area, and then jump down, shoot these 2 guys, grab this gun, which I don't think we even really need, but whatever. And if we had been going quickly, the platform would have been ready for us to go at the earliest opportunity. So that's that part of the level. It's really not that bad. Not bad at all. Compared to this next part. So for this setup, what I'm going to be doing is jumping off that blue pillar on the right, and then I'll be landing on a thin type of platform, kind of like what the cakes are above in the birthday area. And then from there, I'll be making another jump similar to the ones in the last level, where I'm barely on the thin platforms. And then I will be jumping up to another platform where there's a Vorticola, and I want to land on top of the Vorticola, where I can then immediately shoot the Tantalus ray.
I do appreciate that he's using all the official terminology for this, because I think I like to use the official in-game, in-universe terminology for things, but he's even more on point with it than I am.
Okay. And notice that their lasers can damage each other. So let's try this again. Right there. So that's what you want to do. I kind of messed it up, but you just want to do that all in one go. It's really not too hard. From here you can shoot, fall down, and finish up. Make this jump however you want. It's not too bad, but enemies are really random in this game, and we've probably seen that enough early on when I was just surprised that they were mean to me while I was trying to explain something, but whatever. Let's keep moving. So New York is a level where we just kind of hold right and jump. So
Yeah,
sometimes you might need to
New
hold
York,
back,
it means
but
he's going to
for the
save
most
New
part,
York.
try to just keep it
This is the
going.
laser that's targeting New York, not that this is supposed to be a
So,
representation
that's
of New York in the game.
And now this is kind of the breather.
The representation
of
of
the run. The
actual
next two
cities
levels are
using
gonna be
these
incredibly
graphics,
frustrating.
and you know, in kind of a
Um,
Mario is missing kind of style, that would be kind of interesting.
I know I say
actually to
that a
see.
lot, but we get to it. I can't. I don't want to spoil the surprise. So from here, you might recall me talking about how enemies don't move until they're close enough to your view screen. In this case, we need to make sure that there are certain enemies close enough to our view screen. How many lives I got? I could waste a life.
Wow. We're already almost
I just
halfway
wanna
through
show
this
this
video, and it's like
So
an hour-long
we're
video.
gonna take this kind of like the normal way you would sort of expect. So it's like, oh man, we jumped all the way and stuff. That's great. So all we need to do now is fall, and we can finish the level. Oh no, there is a Vortican right there, and he just spawned. Kind of sucks, right? So what we need to do is manipulate the screen itself such that it's close enough to the ground so that that particular Vortican spawns. So what we can do is a maximum jump and a minimum, and we're pretty much good. Just do a short hop here, and both of those guys will land accordingly. Holy crap! Wow! Wow! I want to stress how
I noticed.
rare that
I wonder
one
how much
is.
discussion
I
they had as to
don't
how to
even
represent
think
New York City.
that I've
I guess they
ever had to deal
specifically
with that in a
decided to
real run.
just have it be
I don't
the
really
head of the
practice
Statue
this
of
level
Liberty.
because it's pretty simple.
Which, if you've been
So-
to New York City, like
That just goes to show how
the
rare it is.
Statue of
I mean,
Liberty
it's
itself
always
is not
something
a
that you kinda have to
dominating
expect,
part
but
of the skyline or
holy crap,
scenery in any way.
Of course, if I hadn't paused at
Uh,
all, he probably wouldn't have been.
You
in
could
the
look at
way
its
anyway, so
direction and
just
easily
jump
miss it if you're not looking in the specific area.
Still, I don't know if
And
I've ever
also,
quite seen
the
one
island,
jump back.
the Statue of Liberty
It happens,
is,
it happens.
for legal purposes,
Welcome to Commander Keen 2.
in New Jersey,
More like my head's going to explode.
which is
from
ridiculous to
all this
me, but whatever.
Just, random number generator. How come you're so random? Alright, so now we're on to probably, especially when you're first learning this run, the most frustrating level in the entire run. This level contains a
Alright.
unique glitch. You may have accidentally performed it at times when you're trying to jump off of a platform and barely miss, and then magically you just somehow jump in the air. It's what I call an air jump, and we're going to try to do it intentionally.
Did that happen to me?
I cannot stress enough. This trick is hard. This trick might be the reason that you decide to not try to run this game. But first we need to line ourselves up perfectly such that Keen's left boot is aligned with the
He has sneakers,
the right
not
side
boots,
of that
but whatever.
block. And from here, we need to press the right key, or the key that we need to move forward. And then 2 or 3 frames later, we need to press the jump key. So let's see if we can get that. Nope. And welcome to trying to do the air jump. It does need to be pixel
Oh no, this
perfect.
didn't happen to me. This is.
It does need.
I
Well, it
get-
needs to be pixel
If
perfect.
there are
with the
glitches
setup.
that
And
killed
needs to be
me,
frame
I would
perfect
no
after.
about. But
You
it's something
can
you
try to do it while
deliberately
you're moving.
trigger
It does work the same
in order
way.
to get through the game
It's
quicker.
essentially the same timing, but it can be slightly different. And this is where I'd like to explain a special technical, I don't know, just nugget that I learned when I was learning this game and trying to understand why this is such a hard trick. So this trick has to be done frame perfect, and this is a 35 frame per second game.
Wow,
You'll
Super Mario
notice that when
Brothers
Keen's moving
runs
left
at
or
more
right,
FPS
the
than
screen
this.
doesn't really move smoothly. It's not. It's kind of a bit jaggedy. The reason for that is that every 3 frames, and this every third frame starts with when the level begins, so it's kind of, it's not really that obvious, but every 3 frames is also what, like 11/12 times per second. Keen actually moves 1 pixel either farther or higher, or both if he's moving diagonally, than he would normally. And that's why we have this bit of jaggediness, and when we're jumping and stuff, it's just there's kind of a weird swivel. There's a bit of a weird shakiness, and that's why we have that. And as a result, this frame-perfect trick can't be done 100% consistent, even if you have that perfect frame down. The first 2 frames, you can do it on 2 frames after pressing the forward button, and the third frame, it has to be done 3 frames after pressing that button. So even if you get a really good sense of the timing, like a literal perfect sense of the timing, you would have to get an understanding of when that third frame was going to happen. But honestly, technical babble aside, you're probably not going to be 100% perfectly consistent anyway within a timing of 1/35th, even if you get a really good sense of a rhythm. So I just like to think that it is statistically still a 1/35th second, timing. So try not to worry about it too much, because you probably, I don't know. I haven't run games where you have to do 60 frame per second perfect tricks that don't have any setups, but this is actually quite hard to do. The first time I tried doing this, and I don't know, I guess we'll just talk a little bit about my experiences here. When I was first doing this, I spent half an hour, and I
don't want to keep. I'm kind of tired of hearing about this one jump. But
you will have to practice this. You will have to get a really good sense of the rhythm before you have any confidence to start doing this trick. So, when you get good at this run, when you want to aim for a time that's probably under 7 minutes or so, you'll want to get this trick within 3 tries. And that's not too bad. If you get your consistency high enough, the odds of you being able to do that should be pretty high, given, the odds of it being on one frame or another. So, 5 or better is better too, of course. And, what do you know?
Now, all that, and then he gets taken
out. We have
out.
one of the very hardest Vorticuns to deal with. Oh, joy. So what we do is we turn
I
off
feel
the
so
lights
cool
first.
that I did all this without a strategy guide
This
of any
also
kind.
means that you have to learn how to do this trick with the lights off. It's not too bad. You still kind of have a pretty good, setup for it.
It's not hard playing with the lights off. It just doesn't look as cool.
Anyway. You might want to just practice this. After you get it a couple times, you might want to just start practicing with the lights off so you get the better sense of
that jump he's doing? Yeah, that would be really hard with the lights off.
Or you can try to do this moving. I never really tried to do this moving because it's insane to try to do this moving and get a good timing for it, especially because Keen is moving at different rates depending on stuff, so it probably changes the timing even more so and more wildly, but it's never something I really looked into because it's just crazy, and this run's already pretty tough as it is. I'm already having trouble with it again, but this is really just to highlight how difficult this trick is. So let's try it again. As a rule of thumb...
Yeah, it's another 2 minutes before he actually got through there.
What I do when I'm going for, good runs, I actually stand on this step and then try to just jump straight over him. I'm not even sure if that truly saves time. It always feels like it could be a little bit faster, but whatever. From here, we just, finish the level. And we don't actually... The next 3 levels, they don't follow the same method of finishing the level, but it's easier, so whatever. So that's that jump. That jump, gosh, that jump. What fun that jump is. And now I need to start saving it because I have, no lives, right? I got 1 extra life. Every time you destroy Tantalus, right, you get 10,000 points, and 20,000 points, every 20,000 points.
Man,
doesn't double.
We missed out on so many lives because we didn't know we could
now
destroy the laser.
This is supposed to be the hardest level in the run casually. And it's still a really hard level to do in this run, and unfortunately it's second last.
Let's see his version.
First thing we need to do straight up is turn off the lights, because we don't want to have to deal with any stupid Vorticuns jumping into us. So we go past the first 3 platforms, and you want to jump up here. And from here, we want to go as fast as we can to the very right, and hope that those lasers don't kill us. That's really all we can do.
Let's see him breeze through this. I can't wait to see this.
I wouldn't say it's higher than 50%, but there's a significant chance that laser will... or that they will shoot at the wrong time. You can, of course, try to dodge it and then get through it and stuff, but even though it's kind of funny, the Vorticuns, the little Vorticun guys, they can't turn around because their jump is part of turning around, but the Vorticun elites are allowed to turn around, and it's kind of unfair. So if you're waiting just before
I guess he's just running his mouth because he's just not going for the key card.
I'll mention it again when we show it off, but or I'll just mention it now. I'll just go back over there. But when you're waiting in this particular area, and I Don't... Okay. When you're waiting in this particular area, if you wait right here, the Vorticans might turn around, they might waste time and stuff, and that's no good. You could just sit there. You know, if you have a really good run and you haven't really gotten many runs...
I wasn't going for time, so my strategy was always just to stand right there.
What you're aiming for is the platform cycle up there. You could waste something close to maybe 10 seconds here, and, well, you can waste a lot of time. It feels like a very long time that you could potentially waste here and still be okay. But you do want to aim for this area. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, there's kind of a stopper here. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I didn't ever mention the, I didn't ever mention, and let's just go back to it, because I would like to mention this jump. It's kind of a slightly trivial matter, and I just memorized the key that I have for this level because I do it so often. But this 2-gap jump right here, this one's doable by pogoing at just the right time. So, come on. You can do it in both directions. Gosh, this isn't hard. I was doing it without even thinking about it. So there you go. Just make sure you have your speed, and you're good to go. I guess it's a little harder from right to left. Maybe. I think I'm just used to going left to right more often than right to left. Keen is a left to right game, even though it doesn't have to be. It's very vertically oriented. Anyway, whatever. Just thought I'd mention that. It's important. It's important. So anyway, let's try this again. And I'm going to try to go fast this time. And we turn off the lights again so that these guys can't jump, so that we can actually wait for them to move. So let's see if he's mean this time. Nope. Wasn't mean. When I was doing a previous recording, these guys were being far meaner than they normally are on average. More likely than not, they will be fine. But notice we got through that pretty far, and we're waiting, I don't know, 3-4 seconds anyway. So, got a lot of time to potentially waste. So, now that we're done with this area, we jump straight up, and now we can skip half the level using these scrubs. I wait for this guy when he's on the second tile down, and we're just trying to activate, basically, this scrub as soon as possible. And the objective of all of this is to reach this platform, this jump, yeah. Wow, I'm scared of that jump. This jump's really scary, especially because there's a good chance you might just bonk your head on the platform if it's getting close. So, but yeah, the objective here is to reach this 8-second platform cycle, approximately 8 seconds, in order to get through the level as fast as possible. So yeah, those jumps aren't easy. This level is definitely worth practicing. Just getting to the scrubs as early as possible, making sure that you jump on them just as they can, and exiting them as soon as you can, and stuff like that. It's important. From here, we just wait for these 3 guys to get in the box, and wait for this guy to jump down a bit, and we're done with the level. So, most of the frustration comes with those first 3 Vorticans, and also dealing with some of those jumps. It's a scary jump. I'm scared of it even now. That one jump just before that second play.
I mean, he's going to be talking over it, but there's no way we can miss the music, really.
This level. So what we do here, and I guess I'll just wait it out to show, but we have all of these. Wow, is this going to work? I think this will work fine, but we have all these scrubs, and we need to go up with these scrubs. Usually when there's scrubs, it means that you got to do stuff with them. But we're going to wait for the second one to pass, then shoot the third one so we can get past, and, well, whatever. This is in a slightly different position than I normally would be, so I'll just get myself killed. Well, maybe before I get myself killed, let me show off this section. This is where we ultimately need to go. And there's 5 Vorticans here, and it's really mean. The Tantalus Reyes 2 are right, which is, you know, it's basically impossible to do that section without getting yourself killed or trying hundreds of times. So we have to go all the way around, and the level intends us to go all the way around. So what we do first is we jump past the second scrub, making sure that he passes over the Vorticola, shoot the third one to get out of, out of there, and then...
Oh, wow, that was hot.
Jump on top. And with some precise motion in that area, you can get to this other side.
Yeah, that was a hot jump right there.
Because I don't think you can quite make this jump. You can make the pogo jump if it's already all the way on the other side. But, even if it's as it's returning, I'll just show this off. Even if this thing is making the return trip for you, you can actually time it so that you make it over. Might seem scary, but give it a little practice and it's just fine. From here, we want to go all the way across. So
yeah, by the way, I'm never speedrunning this game. Frankly, I'm probably never going to play this game again for the rest of my life.
Screen any of the Vorticans. This is an important point.
Yeah.
What the game
It
wants
feels
us
weird
to do
saying
at this
that. It
point,
feels kind of fatalistic,
find a way to
sort
turn
of
off
ominous
lights.
saying that. But
And
yeah, I'm never going to play
can
Commander
do
Keen Episode
is
2
press that light switch to turn off the lights.
for
But
the rest of
there's
my
always
life, unless
scrubs in the way,
someone's
and you
over
could
and
with
I'm
some
showing it to
precise
them or
timing
something
get
like
to it
that.
anyway, or maybe just shoot them.
That's the
before
only
they
reason
go.
I'd ever.
But what they want you to do is press this other switch. I don't know. Maybe I'll just show some of this off. Press this other switch, and this actually gets them out of the way. And from here, well, whatever. Well, we need to press it again so we get over to the light switch. And from here, we get to the light switch, and we can turn it off. and
That's
it's
pretty
great
much
and
exactly
stuff.
what I did.
But nobody really cares about that because we're gonna just make use of the view, make use of the view screen to ensure that the Vorticuns don't spawn until we're good and ready for them. So what we can do is we can hold left a little bit, release right about here, just for a moment, to make sure that you bump into this wall, and you want to bump into this wall. If you try to jump straight down, you'll actually miss this platform, and that'll just get you killed. So just make sure you fall onto that. From here, we just want to fall a couple more times, jump maximum height twice. This is important. If we were even a little bit farther down from here,
I
the
jumped through
Vortican
all
opponents
that.
would start spawning, and that's no good. So from here, and this flame could kill us, so just be careful. None of the Vorticans have spawned yet. It's
I
only
cannot
when we
believe
go
I
down
jumped
there
through all that
all
mess.
5 of them will spawn. And the exit's right over there. So all we have to do is get across that
Like, I
platform
was
at the
doing that
bottom.
one jump that kept killing me in that stage. I kept doing that incorrectly.
There you go.
But I did
that's how you
harder
get past that
I did hard
part.
jumps
It
that I
was
don't
just a
think
little
the
bit of time
developers
after
even
that
intended to be
maximum jump,
capable of
but it
possible
is well
technically.
worth it
Be
because this is the very
possibly
last
to
part of the run.
possible to
And it
pull
would be
off.
so annoying to have to lose it there. So from here we would exit and we would get the final cutscene, blah blah blah. But let's not go over that right now. We'll see that when we finish up. At this time, I'd like to go through a full run. This game is a lot harder to run, and as a result, it may be a lot harder to explain. So if I have forgotten to explain in proper detail how to do any of these tricks, how to...
Alright, we're going to skip over his full run, because we just watched all that.
It's probably saying that I'm going to die on the Vorticans at the end, which is very unlikely, but whatever, man, it happens. It happens. So... moving straight on. The nice thing about this run is that most of the time you're not losing huge chunks of time from a death to a Vortican. So that's pretty nice. Anyway, hold back just a little bit. Keep falling. 2 high jumps. And don't let that flame kill you. Let's see what happens. Nope. Okay, great. It's only happened like twice to me. Oop, and there's our time. So that a Vortican has jumped up.
After
It's only
disabling
happened
the
twice, and it's never
weaponry of the
happened on an
Vorticon
actual run,
mothership,
thank goodness.
Billy heads for Earth.
But that's
Even
the run.
great space heroes need a nap after
Getting under 7
defeating
minutes
a
requires
vicious horde of
fairly
violence,
good keen work.
violence bent aliens.
I toiled for a very long time before I got under 7 hours. Far more than I did.
Wow,
on
I
Keen
think the
1
ship was a
before I
lot
got-
further
I think
away
even my record
in
that
here
ended
than it
up
was at the
beating
end of the last
Zarthons
one.
at the time.
The Vorticon I'd never seen this before.
And
The
getting
Vorticon ship
under
limps
7
back toward
minutes was
Vorticon
kind of
4
effectively
to
beating
tell.
Zarthok's
I mean,
time.
6, excuse me, to
Zarthok
tell
being kind
of
the
their
original
defeat
winner
at the
of
hands
these
of Commander
games,
Keen.
at least
The grand
getting
intellect
super
will
good
not
games
be
on it.
pleased.
But this game required a lot more effort, and it was only when after I'd played a much harder game, which is a mod.
Oh,
a
they
Keen mod.
kept
If you wanna look into it, it's called
the
Keen Episode Smile.
Yorp from the
After I
last
played
game.
that game
Wake
for
up, Billy! It's snow. There's no school
month and
today.
a half, I
Wonderful,
came back to this
mother.
game, and I
That
was
will give me time
I was a lot better
to,
at controlling Keen, and I was
to
able
rid
to
the
play this
galaxy
game a lot
of the
more consistently.
Vorticon menace
But when
and
you're first
discover the
learning this
secret
this game's
of the
really
mysterious
freaking hard.
grand intellect.
And I
Well, he
don't
just said
wanna- I
that
don't
to his
wanna
mom.
Make you think
Okay,
that it isn't
hon,
hard just because
but
I was
he'd
able
better
to
have a nourishing vitamin
that's tough stuff.
fortified bowl
I'm-
of sugar
And
stoopies
once again, I want
first.
to try to say that I'm not boasting, even though I
Okay,
technically
Mom.
am. This is hard work.
He's so
It
cute.
looks simple.
The
it
little
looks
Yorp he
like,
has
oh man,
tied
you're
up
just
to the
playing
tree.
A silly
I
little
mean, that's kind of
platform
cruel,
that
actually. But
doesn't even have nasty physics like the first Super Mario.
to be
Bros.
continued. Now it's onward to
This is
Vorticon
nasty.
4,
There's a
6,
lot of-
where
there's
the
a lot of
planet waits your
frustration,
arrival.
and I have
Make your way
lived
through all the Vorticon cities
that
and military
frustration
explorations,
before I
and
got to
prepare
it.
yourself for the final confrontation with
This
the
is
grand
definitely the
intellect.
hardest of the first
On
three
your journey
games,
there,
and I would
hold on,
almost argue.
hold on.
This is definitely the hardest.
Who
of the first
is the
three
grand
games,
intellect? You won't believe the shocking finale.
and
Hold on, let's see. Now let's see what he has to hold on.
Here. This is definitely the hardest of the first three games, and
The final episodes are available for $30 for the whole trilogy, whatever. Okay, now let's hear his commentary.
I would almost arguably call it the hardest of the series, Keen 4, which would be a later tutorial, is probably the hardest, but it's really only because of its ridiculous extent to which it's optimized. This one isn't even ridiculously optimized yet. I could probably get under 6 minutes if I really wanted to. But yeah. Anyway, enough. I had to let out that gentle rant about this game. So yes, indeed. This is not an
all right.
I could have very easily
that didn't quite go the way we planned. But I do consider that we beat every game, we beat every stage, we 100%ed Commander Keen. We did use a save state for that one part, but we've been watching the speedrun stretch. We came to find out I was making difficult jumps to beat those stages, like jumps that were meant to be impossible pretty much, that even the speedruns don't go for, that normal players don't go for. Because I didn't realize you could shoot those electrical obstacles on top of the control panels for the lasers. But the fact that I was making jumps that were harder than what the developers intended me to do, because I didn't know I could deactivate those electric fields. And then the fact that the game put us in an unwinnable state where it would not register me having completed the game because of a glitch on the developer's part. I feel like that karmically balances out the fact that I used a save state a couple of times to get through that one part of that one stage. So, alright. So I'll be back on next Saturday, the 29th of January at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be playing Pokemon Legends Arceus, the first modern game, new release game I've been playing since, Metroid Dread, you know that went. And then we played Mario Party Superstars, but we're going to be getting to Pokemon Legends Arceus. I've not watched much past the first two trailers. I've seen a couple of screenshots being passed around. I'm not going out of my way to look for impressions or videos or trailers or promotional material. Pokemon Legends Arceus is frankly going to be the last chance modern Pokemon has to retain me as a customer in terms of the video games. I'm happy sticking to my old classics and collecting cards for my personal binder of trying to collect one card of each Pokemon in the Pokedex, regardless of rarity or what set or their vintage. So that'll be interesting. We'll see how that goes. I haven't really blocked out my February streams in the sense that I normally would, because I'm not sure how Pokemon Legends Arceus will go, how it'll the flow of it, how I want to incorporate it into my stream schedule. So I haven't really blocked out my future streams yet, but I'm gonna send you on over to Harbus, who's playing Final Fantasy VII. So I will see you Saturday at 2 o'clock, and thank you very much for watching.